Yeah, still waiting.
Yeah, we're still waiting. Waiting. According to my computer, we should be on.
Waiting.
Woohoo.
Wait some more. Wait some more.
Are we there yet?
Oh, there we go.
There we
I
are.
think now we can play it.
With Euan's beautiful artwork.
Dissected Alive.
Nice.
What a wonderful intro song. You can sing so wonderfully, Euan. Look.
Okay, now the ads just stopped. Yeah, it's one of those 2 ads. Me.
Sorry about that.
And YouTube only made it worse when they decided, alright, we're gonna lay the ban on ad blockers.
Oof. Sorry for you.
Yeah.
Lucky for me. More money.
Yay!
Yay. Wish I owe you.
Oh, money.
Everyone
Well,
remember to turn off your
also.
ad blocks for Roger's channel only.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, he needs the money for the rent.
Sure. Why not?
Do it.
Perfect. So yeah, welcome everyone in our first Dissected, where we're going to talk about Sonic Underground, since we're through Sonic X. And that's going to be a whole different experience. And of course we're going through Fleetway again. What was that, Melting Man?
I'm just kind of giggling in glee, like, yay! We finally get to hear Roger's thoughts on the show, because he's haven't seen it properly until now.
No, I've never seen it. The show fell right in between the time I stopped watching television and the internet became good enough to watch videos on. I mean, the original 2 shows I found on television, and Sonic X I could find on the internet, but Sonic Underground was right in the time in between. Like, as soon as I could buy my own game consoles and never watch TV again. What's the point of watching TV when you can play all the video games you want, right? Way cooler, you can play your own adventures.
And be as evil as you want to be.
Exactly. Well, not that I had much opportunity to be evil in those games yet. But from Grand Theft Auto on, you could be pretty evil, yes.
Yeah.
Then again,
Or
Grand Theft
Gordon
Auto already
Freeman.
existed at the time, but the
Yeah,
old
or
ones.
basically just Gordon Freeman just literally just whacking every scientist in the head.
We'll blow up the microwave.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good times, good times. But yeah, so here we are with Sonic Underground, or according to Luke, London Underground, where Sonic is just an annoying band bothering him in the tunnels.
Yeah, it's pretty much my first thought when I first heard the title Sonic Underground. I thought, like, is Sonic in the London Underground or something? Because throughout the entire show, they've hardly ever been underground. It turns out it means, like, underground resistance.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, even though the Resistance doesn't make much of an appearance yet.
I think the best way to summarize this show is, you know the animated movie Rock and Roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is basically Rock and Roll at home.
We got to love rock and roll at home, Mom. Right, I guess you could say so. Yeah, it's a very interesting show, especially how fast-paced it is compared to Sonic X or Sonic Prime and such. This one blasts through it, but yeah, I guess we'll get through to it when we're getting there. But as usual, I'll do a little fillering first so people can come in. Euan, you played Super... Melting Man, you want to say something?
Euan can go ahead. I'll talk about it later.
Euan, you had the luck, the only one of us who plays Sonic Superstars so far. You got anything to share, or you're like, whatever?
Well, was able to just play it like a few days early because they've got the demo going on over at EGX with its own large section in the building, as well as even Specsavers apparently joining in on the whole Sonic Superstar craze.
Yeah, Sonic has a lot of interesting sponsors, from Hooters to Specsavers to Hello Kitty.
Yeah, because with Specsavers, what they were doing was like they had like 4 of the demo machines playing, but the catch was that you had to play the first like zone like as normal, but then with the second go you had to replay it, but this time wearing noise cancelling headphones and like a additional screen that covered over the first one, so it came out all blurry. And what you had to do was basically get a high enough score, and if you were very lucky enough, you might be able to be on the leaderboard to win yourself a Steam Deck. But sadly, I didn't get a high enough score.
You're a shame to all Sonic fans everywhere.
Well, I mean, I managed to get like 64,000 points in total from both runs, but the person who was in top spot basically had over 200,000, so he obviously knew what he was doing.
Or cheated.
I know, I'm just imagining, in Gmod with Breen with his gigantic head shouting, "Hacks!"
There you go. But yeah, so the game good for your liking, good physics, good graphics, good everything, good level design.
I think it did turn out pretty good. I mean, they gave you like the option to play I in the first zone, being Bridge Island zone, or the Speed Jungle zone, which I actually liked the music of. It had like a sort of like a pretty cool jungle beat to it. Got me in the mood and such, just to go charging through the jungle and basically just whacking everything with my hammer. Which I think is an indication I was playing as Amy Rose in that level. Just because I wanted to try. So I just wanted to try Amy Rose out, and I pretty much just see her somewhat like the, well, not like the easy mode, but like, just like slightly easier version of Sonic, just because she's got like the double jump.
Probably
And of course,
Tails
when
is
you
the
do-
real easy mode. You can fly over everything.
Yeah, the true easy mode. But yeah,
What's
I just
her
wanted
hammer
to...
power like?
Hmm?
What's her hammer power like?
Well, I was trying to figure out, like, how do I swing a hammer, but I realised I've got to do the drop dash roll, is it called? Again, where basically you're running at high speed, and when you jump up in the air and you keep holding down the A button, you do a revving spin up and you go zipping along on the ground when you land on the ground again. Well, basically, that's how you do that with Amy. So rather than spinning in a ball, she basically just gets out her hammer and starts whacking everything. Didn't really get a chance to use it too much because the speed jungle wasn't exactly like that speedy enough for me to have an opportunity to perform that move, with the exception of one time, which is how I know about it.
Right. Excuses.
Yeah, I think I even mentioned to you, Roger, that at least one PlayStation 5 wasn't happy with the demo and it just kept crashing on someone constantly. And you're like, oh dear, this is not a good sign.
Yeah, probably Crash Bandicoot taking revenge. He doesn't want Sonic taking the spotlight. Play Crash Bash instead.
Or Crash Team Rumble, since that's still going on.
Oh, sorry,
The
that's the
updates.
one I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the of course with over EGX, if you give the demo a go, they give you like a freebie like pin badge of the Sonic Superstars logo. So now I've got 2 because I had to play it twice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, gloating on that, haha. But yeah. But overall, I think it's definitely a decent Sonic game. I mean, it's obviously not going to topple the likes of Mania, but I still think it's like decent enough.
Why is
But
it
for
not
the,
better than Mania, though?
I don't know. That's just at least what people have been saying in the when they're doing their like reviews of the game. It's like, oh, it's not as good as Mania, but it's still pretty good.
As good as
Would
Mania. Oh
you
yeah.
say it's a
Oh yeah, it's not as good as Mania because there's no Green Hill Zone and no nostalgia pandering. Herp-de-derp.
Excuse me, there's a lot of Green Hill Zone in this game.
Yeah, he's pretty much just showing off what's going on in that shot there.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I actually did watch one of the reviews, and like, oh, the Green Hill Zone themed multiplayer stage. Like, yeah, okay, we already kind of knew that. But what I just noticed recently is that that particular stage is Lego themed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Lego has its own levels. Alright.
Must explain. Obviously, they must have if they got like all the Lego characters and such involved in there with their skins.
Yeah, but didn't know they had unique levels. But alright, that's neat.
Euan, would you say that this is a better Sonic 4 than the actual Sonic 4?
Well, I think most people would consider Sonic Mania a Sonic 4, but as for like actual Sonic 4 itself, though, I'd say yes, it's better than Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2.
Yeah, due to it being in 2.5D, or sort of a 3D graphics.
Yeah.
Wasn't
it's
episode 2 that too? Sonic 4 episode 2 also had 3D graphics, I think.
Well, pretty much.
They both have 3D graphics.
Well, to a degree, though. I think like Sonic and the Badniks and Eggman were all like 3D, but the backgrounds were sort of pre-rendered 2D, but just obviously on like a parallax type scrolling. It wasn't until episode 2 when they went full 3D, because I think that around that point, like Microsoft decided to soften up a bit with the size limit on their Xbox Live service.
Fair enough. But yeah, I found it funny because it was recently this interview with Izuka where he said like, "Oh, Sonic Superstar is the first classic Sonic that has 3D graphics in it." I was laughing. Like, I guess the Generations of Force is no longer canon or something. Or, why can't there be a single Sonic game where he doesn't say something stupid in the pre-release interviews? Oh well.
I know, he should just simply said like the first full, classic Sonic game that's fully in 3D.
Yeah, that's me being pedantic, I guess. So,
Yeah,
It's just like
yeah, first classic Sonic in 3D. It's like, oh, okay, I guess Sonic Jam doesn't count.
Well, I think he did specifically say the style of gameplay, but yeah, that too. If we're gonna take the full, if we're gonna take Sonic R and Sonic Jam into consideration, but yeah, now we're being pedantic, annoying Sonic fans. So let's drop it, I suppose. Either way, yeah, Sonic Superstars is gonna be out in a couple days, so I guess we'll be playing it.
Yep.
Not sure if it's worthy of a Dissected. Doesn't feel like a game I can talk a lot about. And I have to admit, it looks way too cutesy for me. It's not really appealing. It's not really sucking me in.
So I'm assuming you'll be waiting for a price drop before you even consider it.
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a parody or a dissected material. So we'll see.
I mean, the game looks cutesy, but I guess we'll wait for the final boss to be some abomination, and we can judge it then.
Well, yeah, I just saw some random clips of like gameplay, and I will say there is a secret boss, and that's it. I'm not going to say what else.
Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, we'd have to be going to spoiler territory, and everyone would be like saying, "All right, see ya, bye," and then we'll be back down to just 5 of us.
Yeah, especially with the street date being broken. It's like, no, don't spoil it yet. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I already checked the
No.
spoilers, so I already know what's happening.
same-ish. I mean, I've seen some of it, but not all of it.
And there was one thing that's fun to talk about, but yeah, I guess we shouldn't be.
Yeah. Nah, not yet anyway.
The moon. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, anything else? Or shall we just move on to Sonic Underground? I guess there's not
The
much to
Melting
talk
Man
about.
had something?
What is it?
What, I thought you mentioned, like, did Melting Man had anything to say before moving on to Underground?
Melting Man, you got something to say?
Oh yeah, I think that was more for like getting into the Sonic Underground. So since we're getting into that, I think it would be interesting to well, since we already heard Roger's thoughts of not watching the show for so long, what is everyone else's personal experiences on the show? Like, how do they first watch it?
I can probably start because I have a very good memory of this cartoon. I remember first watching it way back in '99 when I was 13. In the UK, we had this TV show called Disney's Dig It, which is dedicated to showing Disney-related cartoons. So it was very weird why they broadcasted on there. I did find it a very strange show because it's supposed to be similar in tone to Sonic Sat AM, but like only a very few characters were in it, and it was kind of like a Sonic fanfic being made into an official cartoon because it's got like characters that were probably my first earliest experience of Sonic OCs before the internet, and it's also a very strange idea, like Sonic in a band trying to find his mum, and also this is one of the few cartoons that doesn't have Tails in it. He doesn't exist, but it does have another certain Sonic character that will turn up later. Overall, I thought the cartoon was okay. It was really cheesy, and the songs were, I don't know, very, very. I mean, I've heard 80s songs that were really cheesy, but this is like
very 90s,
yeah, very 80s, 90s cheese. Yes. Something you'll probably hear at a children's birthday party or something. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was an actual CD of these songs being played at a children's party. But it's a strange. Overall, it's. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as good as Sonic Sat AM, but it's all right, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, and of course, Roger showing off all of at least one or two of the AI artwork that Luke was having fun with at the time.
Yes, I was a bit naughty because I thought I might. Everyone was doing it, you see, so I thought, I might try my own take on doing my own version of Sonic Underground. It's supposed to be the characters busking in the London Underground, but I couldn't get Sonya to perform on a keyboard, and I tried to get Robotnik in there, like trying to boo them, but it just all of them doesn't work.
No. And it's kind of obvious with this one.
Yeah, and for some reason, Manic is tiny in more than one of the pictures, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, the weird one where like Robotnik had a mohawk, Manic is tiny, and Sonya looks like a hooker.
I love the missing poster. It's like this melting freak. He could barely
It's supposed to be the missing poster showing Alina, but it doesn't work.
Poor Manic gets no love.
As for me, my first experience with Sonic Underground was I had bought the DVD set for Sonic Sat AM, and then watched that, and I enjoyed it. And then one day at the same store I found the DVD, I found Sonic Underground Volume 1. And I'm like, oh, this is a neat show. I've never heard of this one. Who are these characters? And I watched it, and like obviously in my teenage years where I'm like obsessed with Sonic and he can do no wrong, I freaking loved the show. And I still greatly enjoy it, but like looking back on it, it is rough.
Yeah.
It is a one of those so bad it's good kind of things.
Because of all of the wonky artwork that happens at times in it.
Oh yeah, the animation especially is not really that great, and like it's got all of these like very 90s touches, like the effects, the transitions, the background music.
Yeah.
The Sega CDI music video editing. But man, I love the backgrounds though. The backgrounds are amazing.
Yeah. Some of the character designs look interesting as well.
Yeah. So I've brought up a few times how like with the Archie and the Fleetway comics, how the original characters don't look like Sonic characters, but at least they look like, you know, animals. What the actual fuck were they doing in this show? Everything looks like some Mos Eisley Cantina monstrosity.
Yeah.
And you're just supposed to accept that. And then there's just Sonic and his triplet siblings.
Yeah, I remember like in the first music video, we got this creature with a giant mouth.
Oh, yeah. I love that one. That's so great. We're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, and then like he shows up later, and an explosion just happens behind him, but his smile does not vanish.
Oh yeah, I have that. I love that sequence right here. It looks straight out of Fleetway too, like that mix between grotesque and goofy. It's awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah, and like it leaves you wondering, like is the Oracle character, is he like anything, like even remotely related to an animal from Earth, or is he literally just a wonky alien?
Maybe he's a relative of Alf.
Yeah.
Yeah, Willie. Huh!
I think it's supposed to be a crocodile or something, but I love the Oracle. It's probably my favorite character.
The
Oracle is The Oracle
Shit.
is one of the best parts of this show because he's so freaking stupid.
Yeah.
He's basically
We'll
a
get there.
parody of the Hero's Destiny type of old man sage character who just barges through your front door and says, "Right, here's your weapon, go fulfill your destiny," or something.
Oh, that's the
Go through
best
it.
part when he just teleports right into a group of people and you see them exploding away. You have to go on the journey right now. Okay, I'm bye. Bye. I'm gone again. Bye. Like, okay.
It's funny.
It's like that.
It's funny that you say that, Luke, because like his name is the Oracle of Delphius, and that's just a straight ripoff of the Oracle of Delphi
Exactly,
from Greek
yes.
mythology.
Yes.
So Sonic Underground is the thing. My experience is probably the shortest one, because my first exposure to Sonic Underground was it was years ago. It was around the holidays, I think, and my mom decided like, oh, there's something at Rite Aid or something. It was a VHS tape of Sonic Christmas Blast, and what was on that was the Christmas special from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, as well as 2 random episodes from Sonic Underground. One was 3 Hedgehogs and a Baby and The Price of Freedom, even though despite the names, they are not really Christmas themed. So it's like, oh, okay, that was kind of a thing. And then later I got more just curious, like, oh, okay, I heard about Shout Factory releasing the series on a 2-volume DVD, so I got those. And it is kind of odd how they handled it. Like, Shout Factory does well with the Sonic shows, but for Underground, it's a 4-disc set for both volumes. 3 of them have the actual episodes, and then there's a CD that just has random songs from the show on both volumes. But yeah, I don't know if those are like pricey. I know nowadays there's a new complete series set on DVD, but considering the fact that it's made by Encircle and knowing how they handle Sonic SatAM, yeah, I'm sticking with the Shout Factory DVDs. But yeah, it's definitely been a long time since I watched this show. Best way I've usually described Sonic Underground is, this is what happens when you combine elements from SatAM and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and random music videos popular in the 90s and just threw them into a blender. And there you go, you got Sonic Underground.
I guess so. And add in a lot of Star Wars, because they're clearly very Star Wars inspired. And,
Yeah, a bit,
and hyperactive storytelling.
Yeah, lots of Star Wars, yeah. Makes you think Ken Penders would write this.
He was more to Star Trek, wasn't he? Or just?
Oh yeah, he was more of a Trekkie, yeah.
But that's another story for another day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Euan,
suppose-
what's your first exposure to the show?
Well, I think it's pretty much similar with Luke in a way, because it was airing on Dig It at the time, and I remembered when they first showed like the trailer for it. They only showed it once, and I was like, "Oh, okay, it's like a new Sonic cartoon." Like, oh, hey, look, a pink hedgehog. That must be Amy Rose. But who's this green character? Is that the actual Cosmic the Hedgehog from Fleetway? But I wouldn't know that until later on, because the trailer was only ever showed once. And during that whole week, I was just like trying to think, like, did I actually see the trailer, or is that just some sort of like oddball dream that I had? But no, the trailer did show up again, and I was like, got to see the cats a bit better, and of course I watched the first episode, and I was like, it is very weird. That's just how I just felt. It's like, it's very weird, because it's like, especially when they like start singing songs just like out of the blue suddenly, and just like, it's like at times they try and stitch it in just about right, but other times they just like randomly start singing, and it just gets to the point of like guys, there's something going on here, can we get back to that please?
Looking forward to that then.
I could say something, because when I first saw the trailer for the announcement trailer for Sonic Underground on Dig It, the voiceover said like, oh, it was about Sonic trying to find his mum, but it showed Sonic carrying Sonia, and I was like, wait, that's his mum?
And he found her. Yay, series ending.
Well, I think she looks a bit young to be his mum.
Good times. We're all confused. But hey, even the animators themselves are confused, so we don't have to feel guilty about it. Just like how the beautiful giant Knuckles or Tiny Sonic in the lower screenshot. Still, I kind of do like the animation. It's very smooth.
Mm.
And the backgrounds are great. But yeah, there's some weird editing going on, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I guess we should move on to the first episode. So I feel pity for whoever wants to do the synopsis. Because
I want to do it.
That's quite a story. Good luck, Luke. Synopsis of episode 1. Or technically episode 26, but yeah.
Okay, here's how the first episode goes. Okay. Triplets born, the throne awaits, a seer warns of a deadly fate. No, wait, that's the title lyrics.
Give up your children.
Sonic Underground.
All right. Well, basically, okay, this is in the kingdom of Mobius, which is ruled over by good Queen Alina. Now, one day she had 3 children with no idea who the father is. Robotnik comes out of nowhere with a ship and just takes over everything without an army. Apparently has some evil gas or something. So she goes into hiding with her kids. Then the Oracle of Delphius turns up and says, right, you need to hide all your kids and go into hiding. And because one day you must reunite to become the Council of 4 to overthrow him. So she's decided to do the Luke and Leia way by putting her daughter in a rich society and the boys in a poorer thing. One of the boys, Manic, was stolen and put into the Thieves Guild and brought up by this alien creature who's a bit like Fagin, so he ends up being a bit like the Artful Dodger. So Sonic grows up with this lumberjack type couple who feeds him chili dogs and all that. Sonia living in doing kickflips and playing piano. Basically, Sonic's house gets burned down and his foster parents gets captured, but he meets up with Uncle Chuck, even though it doesn't explain like if he's related to Alina at all, because wouldn't he be royalty? So anyway, he was like, "Hey, Sonny, want to do some terrorism?" So anyway, he has Sonic blow up a factory. As he's sleeping, the Oracle comes into his house and say, "You must fulfill your destiny." And Sonic's like, "No, go away." So magically creates a table and says like, "Oh, you have a brother and sister." So really? So like, "Oh, you must find each other by playing a song or something." So he does a bit of a song which the other people have heard. Also, Robotnik's a bit pissed off because. I think I don't know if he's a bit early or not, because
it was.
he's. Sorry, okay, I'll try and calm down a bit here because I'm trying to remember what the scenes were because Robotnik.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah, there's so much happening.
Happened before or after they met up because I think they met up because Sonic was playing in a random place somewhere because. He's apparently saying like, "Oh, I've got the Resistance. I'm members of the Resistance," even though we don't see the others. And I was like, "Oh, Sonic, you are the Resistance." So he plays this guitar because they're all musically talented somehow. And Sonia and Manic, they hear the music. Like, "Oh, well, I've heard this tune before." So they go in, and Manic just plays on the drums, which happens to be there. And Sonia plays on the keyboard, which happens to be there. It says, "Oh, we're all musically talented," and "Oh, we're all related." So apparently there was an attack, and they all got captured, and their foster parents got captured and roboticized, and they all had to escape. Now Robotnik just finds out about the hedgehog that attacked his factory, and it's like, right, I need to look at the arseholes of every single animal until I find out who did it, and I found out, oh crap, it's a hedgehog. Then he looks at a video recording about how the Oracle came to his house one night when he was in bed, telling him about the prophecy about the Council of 4. So he hires 2 mercenaries called Sleet and Dingo, and Dingo seems to have a crush on Sonia. Yep, that's what I said. Sonia, and decided to, we'll do it because otherwise they'll be destroyed by lasers. So anyway, after Sonic, Sonia, and Manic, they all got united and found that their foster parents have been roboticized. It's like, oh, we're all alone, and it's like, no, you're not alone. Well, you have family, and that's how it went actually.
Oh yeah.
Phew.
Oh yeah, then there's that bonus scene where before it ends, we have like the Oracle showing up, like, "Oh, I'm afraid your hedgehogs, your foster parents, are now roboticized." So I talk like Christopher Walken in the show for some reason.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, that's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm your you gotta fulfill your destiny.
You must do that by finding the magic cowbells.
Zealous watch. You don't want to know where it's been.
Little squall, why don't you go and follow it whilst I basically just vanish again in a puff of smoke? Boom!
I just really love how he teleports right in the middle of them. You see Sonic and Sonia just fly off in pain. He's like, boom! Like, oh! Yeah. And then with his derpy smile, oh, your parents are dead.
Like, oh, I missed you guys.
Well, let's be brutally honest though. Like, if you had that power, basically just randomly teleporting in an explosive way next to people,
I would do that all the time. Yes.
You just abused it.
Oh, but then, of course, the scene where he just teleports into Robotnik's bedroom. It's like, the show is over right there. You can just capture him and the whole thing is over.
No, he was doing a Christmas spirit routine.
I guess so. Oh, there's so much wrong.
You'll be visited by 3 ghosts, Robotnik.
And all of them are me.
You're defeated by 4 hedgehogs.
You just teleport out and in back again. I finally got him. Immediately teleports back in. No, I'm from the past.
I'm from the present now. I'm from the future. And now I'm from 2 seconds later.
Oh, he's so freaking stupid. This is such an unnecessary move on his part.
Yeah.
Can you explain exactly what happening's there?
So, yeah, he just fucking shows up and tells Robotnik the prophecy. He doesn't have to. He absolutely does not have to do that. Robotnik does not need to know about this prophecy, but the fact that he now does means that everyone's job is now so much harder.
And it's so great because Robotnik didn't even want to listen. He immediately calls for the security guards, like, "No, you must listen. I must tell you how our plans are to defeat you, so you can stop us in the future." Like, yeah, bro.
Like looking back, it's like, I remembered when I first experienced the show, I remember like really hating the Oracle. Because it feels like whenever he shows up, he's just spouting out random bullshit.
That's why I love him. But I love it how something so blunt, like in the end he just shows up and, "Guys, you go on a quest, you have to find a thing, bye." Like, he's not even trying to give a logical reason, he's just literally, "Oh, your character's on a quest, go find stuff." So, he's so blunt and breaking the fourth wall almost. Like, it's like, "Oh, you just have to go on a quest now. Whatever, bye."
Whilst basically just directly telling Robotnik, like, "Oh yeah, you will be defeated by the 3 hedgehogs and Queen Alina in the future. I'm only telling you this because we got to last 40 episodes."
Man, I could just make a whole parody movie just with him. Every single time he teleports into Robotnik's room to explain what Sonic is doing. But a Robotnik is still defeated just because he's constantly blown away by his teleportations.
Just imagine fucking Oracle of Delphius teleports in. "Master Sauron, I need to inform you of the hobbits coming from the Shire."
Or like Darth Vader. Yeah, "I must tell you about the rebellion, the fight, the Death Star."
Actually, this could stem back all the way from Macbeth, because when he became king, he visited the witches again, and they gave him a prophecy that, "Oh, you'll be defeated by the forest." And it's like, what? Apparently never happened. And also, there was a thing that really bothered me about the cartoon, is they never really revealed who the father is. These babies just appeared. I mean, I think it's just the logic like, "Oh, you don't need 2 sets of parents to create children." But I do remember there was a brief shot of a statue of what looks like a very buff King Max being crumbled apart. But they never explicitly said that if that's like a past ruler or that is Alina's husband.
I wanted to talk about that statue. Man, there's so much to talk about. But yeah, it looks like King Acorn from Sonic CTM. So for a moment I was thinking, wait, is Sally also part of this? But yeah, so apparently Sonic is just part Sally and part himself now, or something.
Unless they're doing something like Stalk Logic or something.
Well, the only person who would know this would be Ben Hurst, because he wrote like most of the episodes for SatAM, and obviously he wrote some of the episodes for Sonic Underground. So that's obviously why there's like a statue of King Acorn there, sort of like a reference to SatAM in some degree.
I guess so. So I like to think that that is their father, and so Sonic is part DNA of Sally in this series.
Well, one idea I have is that she had the plumber around once, and she really couldn't afford it, so it was like,
Not really friendly with the plumber. I let you fix my. I let you fix my pipes, Mr. Plumber.
Oh god.
Do it.
Now I'll fix your pipes.
Oh, there's so much wonderful stuff in here. Also, Sala, there's the crib. You want to talk about the beautiful art on the crib?
Oh yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, so Queen Elena has, triplets. And she's just got Sonic and Manic in a crib. But for some reason, the crib just has a picture of Sonic on it.
We immediately know who's her favorite son. I only like Sonic.
He's like, you will be the main character.
You are the
Sonic
spare.
Hedgehog gives. Buy him now. Also, am I the only one that finds it a bit weird, like the crib that we see, like, it's, Sonic and Manic are in there, and that crib is clearly big enough for only two of them, so, like, okay, where the hell does Sonya sleep? Does she, like, have her own crib, or does she just, like, sleep in the attic?
I guess the queen is always holding her.
Yeah. No, she just puts her
a
on the
later
floor.
episode, they do have a crib big enough for all three of them.
Alright.
But also, just look at the picture. I love their face expressions. All with the big eyes open. They all look so, like, especially Sonya. Like, there's something funny about it. They have these big, giant, wide open eyes. It's like,
They're all dead!
there's
another thing that's been bothering me is, like, if Sonic has an Uncle Chuck, why doesn't Elena take Sonic to him first? But I thought maybe she's aware that he's involved in terrorism, so she doesn't want to do that.
That would explain a lot. But yeah, we're never told if he's really his uncle or just an honorary uncle. But yeah, it is a hedgehog just like
weird.
Sonic, so...
Yeah. Maybe there's some family drama between Alina and Uncle Chuck, who knows?
Yeah, I don't remember to be raised by parents.
It's just never explained, like, how Chuck fits into this at all. Because, like, he's only in the show for, like, 3 minutes. And, like, so Sonic gets adopted or left at the doorstep of some guy that we don't know, we've never seen before and we'll never see again. And, like, he's a good dad. He's a very supportive father. But he just refers to Chuck as Uncle Chuck, implying that, like, he's got some kind of brotherly relationship with Chuck, or maybe he's just really good friends with Chuck and just happens to, like, know a hedgehog, or maybe, like, maybe he knows that Chuck is Sonic's uncle, because
Now, to be fair, maybe there are a lot of blue hedgehogs, because, like we said before, like, there's the one part where they go through pictures of animals. You see, like, oh, here's just a random dog, here's a random squirrel, and then in between you get a random picture of Sonic, as if he's just a generic animal species rather than an individual. So maybe you have hundreds of Sonics running around.
So I want to say something about that. Is that when he's looking for all the animals, I was like, why is that all being taken from shots that they're behind? Is that what you want to do, Robotnik?
They're looking at Robotnik's secret porn stash.
Robotnik's like, I'm not a zoo, honest, no.
To be fair,
Yeah.
to be fair, I think there is a logical reason, because the picture they had of Sonic was from the security camera was from behind. But okay, go ahead, Sala. What do you want to say?
Okay, so it's so weird that, like, this show has, like, all of these, at most, anthropomorphic animals, and at worst, these alien monstrosities, and yet every picture they pull up is just a regular-ass animal, except for Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, checking out animalsbuttholes.com.
Yeah.
And also, it's our first thought of what the terrorist could be. Like, who's this terrorist who attacked us? Oh, probably just a squirrel or a beaver. Like, aha! Squirrels are very aggressive this time of year.
Yeah, the one with the bluest ass is clearly the terrorist.
I just remember being on a scene from Final Fantasy VII when the avalanche blows up a factory and President Shinra has to find out who's doing this. He looks through all random animals. I don't know why though.
Really? Did that happen? I don't remember.
No, it's in my head.
Oh, that's parody. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of confusing about the freedom fighters. I mean, we do eventually see them later, but yeah, this episode it was really confused because they're talking about the freedom fighters, but you only see Sonic and Chuck. It's like, oh, you mean just those two? Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. It's like, oh yeah, there's Uncle Chuck, and then he gets roboticized, and yep, that's it. No more Chuck for the rest of the series.
Yeah, he never shows up in another episode? Oh, that sucks.
Nope, and that's all we're getting here.
Yeah, they are the freedom fighters.
And while we're on the subject, I want to go back to talk about the adopted parents of all three of them. So, Alina just straight up favors Sonia and puts her at a rich person's house. And then puts Sonic at like some farmer's house. And then puts Manic at some deserted alleyway. And he just immedially gets yoinked by some random rat.
Because the first burglars were looking for babies. Like, yes, another mouth to feed.
Yeah, it's really just poor Manic that gets the short end of the stick. It's like, yeah, originally he was dropped off at this slump of an apartment area, and then he gets taken by thieves.
And to be fair, like, Beryl is the name of the person who ends up raising Manic. Is actually a very supportive father figure.
Yeah,
even
awesome.
if he's like, even if he's teaching him a life of crime, but like, you know, do what you got to do to survive.
Yeah,
and like, Lady Windermere is fine as far as rich people go. She's a little uptight, but like, you know, she cares.
Yeah, well, now that look at her design, she looks more like she came from the Disney comics or something. Like one of those, like, yeah, she's the missing Beagle brother of Beagle Boys, yeah.
Yeah, what I like about Manic and Fat Barrel is that they make me think of, like, Fagin and the Artful Dodger.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It is very interesting.
It's weird that, like, I got most attached to Farrell. He seemed the actually nicest of them. Not to say that Sonic's adoptive dad wasn't also just an absolute genuine sweetheart, but while we're on the subject of him, there's just like, he gets like 2 minutes of screen time. One of them is just like, hey Sonic, you need to take a bath. And then the camera goes outside and it comes back in. And he's just like giving him the talk. He's like, you need to run as fast as you can.
I would be surprised if the opening of the first Sonic movie was based on this.
Yeah. I told you to take a bath, Sonic, and you didn't. You ruined me.
Would be funny if immediately and Echidna Warriors came in to shoot him with arrows, yeah. Some movie style. But yeah, I love the excessiveness that he even burned his house down even though he's already arrested. Like, what's the point of still setting the house on fire? This robotic has to be that evil, I guess.
And then, like...
Oh, there's so much to talk about.
Later in the episode, like, Robotnik retinal scans a picture of the three of them performing, even though Sonic and Manic's eyes are closed in the picture. Surprisingly, they only get one result, and it's Sonia, because she's the only one who's, like, you know, a member of society. So they're like, oh, okay, we know where to find at least one of them, Lady Windermere's house. And so that makes sense. They go and arrest Lady Windermere. And then I guess Chuck, you know, they realize, you know, oh, we wanted terrorist Chuck Hedgehog probably has relation to this other blue hedgehog. So spend energy to find him. And then there's just Farrell for no reason. They have zero reason to assume he has any connection to Manic, and they just arrest him anyway.
Funny coincidence.
He went and pickpocketed too many pockets there.
Just happens on that day. What a coincidence.
Yeah. Poor Farrell.
Yeah.
What else? What is it you
I was
want?
gonna say,
Something I
like-
do want to point out is that when all three met, when Sonic was randomly playing guitar, there happens to be an empty drum kit and a piano there, so they just go on it. But I was thinking about like who was originally going to be on there. Like imagine like the actual people are going to be using the drum kit and piano turning up and says, "Oh, there's someone already playing there." Oh, right.
It's really random and not explained. Yeah, I guess it's just a bar with instruments.
Oh, piano! How
Yeah.
convenient. Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the meeting for the first time. That made me laugh. I mean, first our Oracle just gives up like a riddle to Sonic, like, "Oh, you have to find the magic song. It's in your heart." And like within 10 seconds, Sonic's like, "Oh, guitar!" And he immediately plays the right song. I was like, "Oh, that was a pointless riddle." And then the very next shot, you already see Sonia and Manic already playing along with Sonic in the song. It's like, "Oh, I guess they already met. That was fast." Like, I almost wish they never had like an official meeting. That was just that. The show just immediately goes, "Okay, they're best friends now." There you go. It's neat. It was so funny how fast that goes.
It really reminds me of that the one bit from your Kingdom Hearts 2 parody. Yeah. Now prepare for a new adventure. Adventure, yay! Yeah, here's your gummy ship, yay! Oh, so where are we going? We're going on an adventure, wee!
Exactly, that's vagueness. But that's the final scene. Yeah, that's pretty much the Oracle at the end. Yeah. Like, you have to go on the journey, you have to bond, you're gonna grow now, bye, pew. Like, okay, I guess that's the plot for this show then. Like, there's no logical, natural build-up towards it, it's just like, oh, here's just what you do, because you have to do something, I guess.
And it's weird that like the Oracle of Delphius decided like to tell Sonic about the prophecy, and even Robotnik about the prophecy, but not Sonia and Manic.
Apparently not, no.
Because Sonic's the main character, yeah. He's more marketable.
I don't have time to explain this to Sonia and Manic. I have to go to...
I must tell Sonic and Robotnik. I don't have time to tell the others because I've got an appointment to deal with some bears.
I have to go tell Lord Voldemort about Harry Potter.
I have to go and talk to an old man in Victorian London.
I must go and talk to... I can only talk to Sonic and Robotnik because we only got enough minutes for this episode. It's true.
I have to imagine because they did that because they're the only actual characters from the games.
Probably,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I might as well say, Roger, is like you always keep flashing that one image of where Robotnik gets gut punched by that drone of his.
I thought it was in his groin. It would be funnier. Yeah, what about it?
I know, it's just like, it just felt like it's the sole picture in that whole moment. You're just like, oh, I really gotta show this off, this is so funny. Just his reaction of getting, like, gut punched by a robot with his eyes bulging out, going, ugh.
Well, I have to admit, as much as we're laughing at the show does have like legit jokes of its own sometimes. So, and I like this bit of slapstick. Where, like this robot, this groin punches a robotic.
Yeah.
This is funny face expression. Like, ugh!
Either that or that robot's doing something else that we rather not mention.
Oh my.
Get your mind out of the gutter, you.
I
Well,
can't
you know,
help
with
it.
all this-
Everyone put me in the gutter.
Well, you know, with that stress of being a dictator, he needs some kind of relief.
What I do notice about Robotnik in this, he seems to be a lot more active than how he was in Sonic Sat AM, where he just sits on his chair all the time, stroking his chicken. He makes me think of Robotnik from the very early... What?
Well,
You just had to say it like that.
stroking his chicken.
As long as it's stroking and not something else.
Always robot... Yeah.
Robot chicken.
Plucking
He
his
reminds me
squawk.
more of
His
Robotnik
squawk.
in the very early issues of Archie Sonic, when he was more goofy, so sitting in his chair and having that sinister voice.
Oh yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like they use the Sat AM Robotnik, but he's a lot more. He's definitely more like a very early Archie Sonic, where it's same design, but he's a lot more like comical and more like pompous kind of thing, and not really the whole like sinister guy in the chair. Yeah.
His voice is so
Yeah.
disappointing, though. Like all the other robotic voices always have this very
What's
big
interesting about
bossy.
him?
He always sounds like a henchman.
What's interesting about him is that he's voiced by Gary Chalk,
Yeah.
who is also Grounder in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, but also he was in the first Sonic movie as a disgruntled general who disapproves of the army hiring Robotnik.
Interesting.
Yeah, he has a small cameo in that film. Yeah.
So while we're on the subject of this, I was definitely disappointed with Gary Chalk's performance when I first watched this show because, like, obviously living up to Jim Cummings is an almost impossible task.
Yeah.
But, like, just basing his performance on its own, not, like, comparing it, I think Gary Chalk is a very underrated Robotnik. I think he does pretty well for the material he's given.
Yeah.
It's a decent voice, but yeah, every time I just hear him off screen, I always think it's a henchman talking right now, Robotnik. He doesn't have a leader voice.
Hedgehog!
A blasted hedgehog! Yeah.
Speaking of voice actors, though, it's funny in this one episode there are 4 characters voiced by Maurice LaMarche.
Oh yeah,
And-
he voices Sleet and every robot.
Yeah, he voices the robots. He voices Sleet. He voices Uncle Chuck, and he voices the Oracle.
Oh, Maurice LaMarche. I kept thinking of Futurama. Kit. That's why the voice sounds so familiar.
Yeah, he also voiced the Brain.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I kept hearing the character from Futurama, but now I know it's the same voice actor. Right.
Yeah, with Sleet, it always kind of sounds like he's doing a bad Peter Lorre impression. And then with the robots, he gives them all the same voice. It doesn't matter what design, like everyone has the same like monotone robot voice.
It's disappointing, yeah.
I also love Sleet's design because he's dressed to look like some kind of evil overlord with a giant cape and skulls everywhere, and he's got this goofy wolf head.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome design, yeah. Oh man, there's so many details I want to talk about. Another detail I found funny is at the beginning when you see like the future of Sonic and the 4 defeating Robotnik. Like the seer says that, like, oh, in the future they're gonna form this team and finally defeat Robotnik. And then you see the shot of them just walking around with the happy faces. Like they're supposed to be like the epic shot. Like this is it. This is Sonic and the 4 others finally making an end of Dr. Robotnik's evil reign of terror. And there you just see them walking around like, like yeah, very epic.
Yeah, let's go get some pizza.
Exactly. This is supposed to be their most dramatic moment of triumph, and it looks so derpy as hell.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be like ascending the stairs to a restored Metrolpolis.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be a very triumphant, epic moment, but it looks so derpy. It made me laugh
Me
so
and my
hard.
triplets on the way to McDonald's.
Exactly.
Let's all go out for some chocolate frosty milk.
Frosty chocolate milkshakes. Yeah.
Another detail I found interesting is where Manic puts his drumsticks. Like it's in this weird bucket where they stick out. Like looks very uncomfortable for me. It's like, don't they constantly fall out there?
Yeah, so it'll carry
He
your
puts
pouch
them in a
thing.
fanny pack, yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't fit. They don't fit at all. They're just standing.
He needs like one that has like hammer space to have them fit.
So many funny details here. Oh man, what else?
Yeah. Oh yeah, how about the fact that all 3 hedgehogs are voiced by the same guy, Jaleel White?
Yeah, okay, we can't ignore that elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And when he was doing Sonya, he was using his Urkel voice.
Oh yeah, Sonya is just freaking Urkel, yeah.
Okay.
So, a lot of people claim that her voice is very irritating, and I think that's kind of an over-exaggeration. It's obviously not like the most pleasant to listen to voice, but it's not grating or anything.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But
Yeah.
I like the decision, because like, oh, Sonic's voiced by Jaleel White, Manic's voiced by Jaleel White, why not go for all 3? Go for the hat trick.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, I didn't really at first notice it was Julia White voicing Sonya. It wasn't until in, like, an episode later where, like, he wasn't doing that sort of well but by comparison with the other voices that he did of Sonya. So it got to the point where I just realised, wait, that's just Julia White, just in a very high-pitched voice. Like, I just about heard it.
Yeah.
Type thing, and I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah, having that voice, and then Manic, he kind of gives him more of a surfer dude kind of voice, and Sonic's still kind of the same, except here it's much more noticeable, where he sounds a little deeper compared to Saturday M and Adventures of Sonic.
Yeah.
Fair enough, he was getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manic sounding like the stoner. Yeah, man.
Kind of like Zodi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so in some ways, the show should have just been renamed Jaleel White Argues with Himself.
It's always funny when you have like one guy basically in the sound booth doing all these lines and he's just arguing with himself. Different voices.
Yeah, Sonic Underground in a nutshell. Yeah. And then of course we have the singing voice that they do whenever they're singing, which are done by different actors. One of them is kind of surprising on who voices the singing voice of Sonic, which I'm sure Sala knows.
That is indeed Sam Vincent, the voice of Double D from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard Sonic's singing voice back then. I'm like, that actually kind of sounds like Zodi from IMP. You know, the guy with the brown hoodie and all.
All right.
Maybe.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Oh wait, Bustin'. That's what I meant, Bustin'. No,
Yeah, I thought Bustin' too, Little Manic. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, Bustin'. Yeah, singing Sonic sounds like Bustin' from IMP.
Anyway, yeah, so this show is very known for its weird editing and animation. One detail I found kind of interesting is when Sonia sees her mother getting kidnapped, because you see Sonia looking through the door, and then the robot runs at her, and then you see Sonia also running at the door towards the robot, even though she's supposed to actually run in the other direction to the balcony out of the window. And then you see her jump down, and then she's immediately at street level, even though she saw her run into the house. So, if you actually pay attention to what's happening, it's very confusing.
I like the way you described it as like she knew the animators were going to mess up.
Exactly. Like, the animators probably going to forget.
She used that to her advantage.
And apparently in that one shot with like Melting Man's like headlamp is like shining down like, gotcha. It's like, oh no!
Oh yeah!
I found her.
Oh, I've just remembered a character from the show, which is Sonia's boyfriend, Bartleby.
Bartleby.
Oh yeah, freaking Bartleby. Yeah, he's pretty much the Prince Blue Blood before Prince Blue Blood was a thing in some way.
Oh wow. Well, no, because like Prince Blue Blood is so much worse.
Oh yeah.
Bartleby is obnoxious at first, but like he actually gets character development over the series, which is like shocking.
So he's better than Antoine, I guess.
Yeah. And, yeah.
To a degree.
He seemed like he was going to be the Antoine character, and I think they've even make like a joke about that in the series. Or like one time he dresses in Royal Guard outfit. But like surprisingly he does get character development over the series, and like that was completely unnecessary because he's just this side character who kind of has an attachment to Sonia. And by kind of I mean he's literally engaged to her for some reason.
He's only interested in her money. Yeah, she's only interested in her money, that's why.
Yeah,
well, no, he's rich too.
Well, he wants more money then.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, because Robotnik is a lot more political in this show. Like he wants the rich to stay in power, to swear to him so that they could fund his campaign.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, but also confusing because the show never really goes into, or at least not in the episodes I've seen so far, because Robotnik just seems to be an all-powerful dictator. You can just kidnap and arrest everyone and set everyone's house on fire. So, like, okay, that works if Robotnik is just an unquestionable dictator, but if you try and go for a more political route, I kind of wonder how you can explain that to your other, the people beneath you.
Yeah, like, if you control the whole world, what use do you have for campaign funds?
Yeah.
Why do you need money if you control everything?
And that's what I found kind of disappointing, even with the bad guys too, because they're introduced as mercenaries, but then they immediately become loyal to Robotnik. So like, okay, but then what's the point of making them mercenaries to begin with? Like that theme immediately went out of the window.
Yeah.
Especially because like at any point, like when because Robotnik just lets them run free and do their thing. At any point, they could have just like ditched him.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're like, oh no, he shot us with lasers that one time.
Yeah, the show just needed their status quo of bumbling villain sidekicks, yeah.
But yeah, that's what makes the show so funny to me, because it keeps setting up like a dramatic plot point and it's immediately over 5 seconds later. It's like, oh, we're mercenaries. Oh, we're not mercenaries anymore. Like, oh, Sonic, you have to find the song of your heart. They're like, oh, there it is. Like, okay. It's like every single time there's like, oh, they're setting up a plot. It's like over in 5 seconds. Like, it's so interesting, especially after watching Sonic Prime. That's the complete opposite, where you know where the story is going for episodes on end, and you're just waiting for it. It's like, yeah, just get to the point. And this show just like, oh, here's the point, and the point is gone. Like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, I just love that way. Like, oh, Seat and Dingo show up. It's like, well, we don't want to be like, fully committed to you, and then just shoot some laser. Yeah, laser's my one weakness. Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah, in a way, it
On
also.
second thought, we can be persuaded.
Speaking of which, what do you guys think of Seat and Dingo so far?
Okay, so they are easily the worst Robotnik sidekicks, but they do have their moments. They are funny. They are definitely funnier than like Orbot and Cubot.
Oh, I love their
Maybe
dialogue, like, especially. Oh, she's so pretty. Yeah, you're ugly. That made me laugh.
They are very funny characters, and they haven't gotten to Dingo's special ability yet. In episodes.
Yeah, that's coming. It's coming.
So Roger, you are in for a treat because Dingo has a weird, inexplicable superpower, and it gets abused all the time, and it's hilarious.
Oh yes.
Okay, looking forward to that.
As for me, even though I do like their designs, but the thing about them, they kind of give me a Bebop and Rocksteady vibe about them.
Sure, I can see that.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
Even though they were both dumb, well, here's more of a smart guy, dumb guy dynamic going on, I guess.
Yeah.
And the smart guy is voiced by Maurice LaMarche. What a coincidence.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Dingo, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Dingo, you are such a silly idiot.
Oh my gosh, that was actually spot on.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Dingo, Bonnie is not the real dinosaur.
No. Oh, so yeah.
Oh yeah. So,
yeah.
Dingo is this lovable idiot where like Sleet just like sends him into a building. He's like, through the door there? No, you idiot, through the wall. Okay.
It goes right through the wall. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm the Kool-Aid man now.
But that's for the next episode. Let's stick to the first episode.
Oh, yeah,
There's so much to say about these
Oh my
things.
god. This first episode has so much in it. I can't believe we're still talking about it.
Yeah, it's past over an hour and we're still talking about it. Wow.
I really couldn't watch 30 seconds of this episode without laughing at something. It was amazing.
Yeah, like that big alien with the big goofy smile, even when something
Yeah.
bad's happening behind him.
It's so Sonic Fleetway-esque. This would make a great Sonic Fleetway style cartoon.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it was done in. Kind of forget where it was actually animated though. Like the company, I think they might be French.
Yeah, French.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh, that's
So
why
that's
it
probably-
feels so European.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird alien background characters in the show. They kind of remind me of the ones from like Adventures of Sonic had weird background characters. But then
Yeah.
here's this show. It's like, oh, it's the same cast but in HD now, kind of a way.
I also want to point out like how easily Robotnik took over because you don't see an army or anything. He just has this. He just has his ship, and apparently everywhere it goes, just like this evil gas or something, and everything decays.
I guess in this version, he just bribed all the rich people. That's all you needed to do.
That's more than horrible.
I guess I guess the creators saw the opening to Sonic Sat-AM and they're just like, oh, that's how I conquered it. Okay, we can do that. And didn't watch the actual episode where he actually conquers the Metrolpolis.
At least it's more plausible than what they did in Sonic Forces, where it just says, it has a text says Robotnik took over.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
Yeah,
happened. He just made a screenshot of that screen and showed it to all the rich people. Like, look, here it says, I took over.
Make me your dictator, and you could get a free car or something.
Yeah. You can get free
At the
Robotnik sticker. Yeah.
At the very least, we get an explanation of how he took over, which is technology. And that's literally it. He used his technology. And then the takeover of Robotnik is very abrupt.
Yeah, uses technology. Oh yeah, because clearly all the other Mobians don't use technology.
Apparently, what happened to the leaders? Doesn't she? She's a queen. Doesn't she have an army?
Apparently not. Uncle Chuck is her army.
And he's the Shushan boy.
Like, where's the army? You are the army. Get out of there.
So one army crew was like, nope, fuck that.
Oh, are we done with this episode or more stupid things? Oh, there are definitely more stupid things.
I'm done with this episode.
I think we better move on to the next episode.
Time
What?
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I have one more note here. It's really quick. It's just something I love was after Sonic, Sonya, and Manic meet for the first time, and like they get attacked by SWAT bots. Sonya's just like, "Who are you guys?" So we're your brothers. We are. Yeah, I freaking love that reaction. It's just like, we're your brothers. We are. I don't know you.
And how fitting with the soundbite with Manic's talent. Yeah.
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 Now, speaking of which, that's also the funniest line at the end, where after the Oracle just teleports in and says, "Oh, you go on a quest now, bye," and then she also turns to Sonic like, "Who was that?" Like, I wish the episode just ended there. That was perfect. It's like, what the hell was that? The end. But instead we get this wonderful iris out, which is it's a very dramatic, sad shot, and then you get this Looney Tunes iris out, like do 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 do.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm all alone. Like, no way, you got us. And then it ends.
Yeah.
That's all, folks. Exactly.
At least we have
it's
each
like-
other.
It's like it's funny because like the mood of the shot is like kind of happy because they're all holding hands and walking off together, and then she just says some incredibly depressing shit. It's like, I'm all alone now.
Oh yeah, and then there's the end credits, which I guess also worth talking about. They use Comic Sans, but also very flat, so that's a very awkward look. I mean, I don't mind Comic Sans, but it's also flattened, so it's very hard to read. So that was an interesting artistic choice.
Yeah, well, at least the ending credits is it's a pretty epic theme. Yeah, epic guitar solos.
Yeah, my response when I saw what they were using, like Comic Sans.
Use Comic Sans. Yeah.
That's so cheap.
Hey, Sonic Adventure 2 also used it, so there you go. It's
Yeah.
it's on.
It was just that time for the Sonic series.
Still be a shush.
and I use it all the time too.
Yeah, Comic Sans in the height of its popularity of Sonic in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Yep. Perfect combination.
So we shall move on to the next episode. Luckily, the episode 2 and 3 aren't as condensed as the first one, so I guess we'll go faster now. Alright. So who dares to do the synopsis?
I guess I will do it. Let me just real quick pull up the episode again. Where the hell did I have it? Stop. I was prepared, I swear. Okay, I found it. So the second episode, they're starting off with like Sleet and Dingo like reporting to Robotnik. He's got like pictures of the hedgehogs for some reason, and he like sends them to go find them, and they do. I don't quite understand how, but yeah, they just happen to find exactly where they are, and they send SWAT bots, Sleet and Dingo, and they have this like moment where they're like, all right, we got a plan. We escape through the basement, and then the plan just goes wrong immediately. Because, like, Sonic's like, oh, I'll divert the robot, you guys go ahead. And then he immediately just gets bitch slapped by the robot. And then while he's fighting it, Manic's like, okay, I'll distract the robot. And then he immediately gets grabbed. And all the while, like, this is the moment, it was like, Dingo walking in through the wall. And
yeah, going all
and
cool
he like
man.
sees Sonya, and he's like immediately infatuated with her, and she's like, "Oh, I can use this." And she's like, "Would you get my jacket?" And she like points down to the basement, and then he like she shoves him down the stairs and locks the door. And she's like, "Guys, I got him. I trapped him down in the basement." Like, that's where we were escaping to. And then Dingo shows up and he's got them at gunpoint. And he's like, "All right, you've got nowhere to run." And Dingo slams the door open on him.
Yeah,
And he's like, I couldn't find you, Jack, you son. He's like, "So what's the plan now?" "Same as plan A, the basement." So their plan worked in the end. They just escaped down the basement.
Yeah. Whee!
And so they go out the sewers, and of course Sonia is bitching about it the whole time because she's Primmy princess. And Manic is of course insulted because he grew up in the sewers, but he didn't. He grew up in alleyways. That's very different.
Yeah.
But then like Sonic realized, oh, we got to go back for the map because we kind of need that map to know where we're going. And Sonia reveals that she has photographic memory, and this never comes up ever again.
Yeah. Plot device.
They don't even need that map.
Yeah, so Sonia uses her photographic memory to get them to where they need to go, and they find Gondar, who is like this caveman type guy, jungle man, who is surprisingly eloquent and wise, and he trains them, training Sonic's speed, because obviously he needed training on that. And then Sonia, he teaches how to do the Espio spin. And then Manic just fucking plays with his sticks. and that's kind of it. It's like
Sonic super speed, Sonya tornado move, Manic pick up sticks. Yeah, 5 6 pick up sticks. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think even his reaction in that one shot was like, ugh. Like, really? That's all Manic can do is just sticks?
Oh yeah, he like tries to use them as like boomerangs or something, yeah.
Which I don't think he does, ever.
I don't remember, but yeah. I mean, like, how are drumsticks going to be that harmful as boomerangs? Yeah.
And so, anyway, so their training is finally complete. They've mastered these stupid moves they've got. Sonic can now go fast. Hooray. And so he gives them another scroll, and they're like, "Oh, is this a map?" He's like, "In a manner of speaking," and it just teleports them away. Like, oh, they can do that. Why didn't they do that with the first map? And he sends them to some floating monastery where there's robed monks, and for some reason the monastery has invisible stairs for no reason. Like I don't understand what the point of that is.
To be cool.
Because, like, it's not going to keep him safe from Robotnik, because he's got flying vehicles, and it's not like it's going to keep them safe from burglars, because the burglars could probably just, like, throw paint on the stairs to get their way up, or just, walk up like Sonic, Sonya, and Manic do.
Yeah, they have no trouble finding the stairs, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, okay, that's neat.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the gravelly-voiced monk tells them that they need to work together, and then he sends them to the Sarlacc pit, and they immediately just fucking get eaten. And the monk's like, "Alright, you guys are out of here." It's like, they've been here for 5 seconds, and they've already been barred from training. And then they're like, "Hey, Sonic may be a jerk and stupid and impatient, but anyways."
He's my brother.
And the monk's like, "You defended your brother. You are clearly worthy of more training." And then he's like, "Your training will continue in the morning," and then he leaves. And they're like, "Hey, we can turn our medallions into instruments now. Let's play a song." And they play a song, and that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's the
end. Well, plenty to talk about again.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you forgot an action scene. I can't imagine why, but they're being under attack by Dr. Eggman's air fleets, and then flowers shoot things and they immediately crash down. So, great job setting up the danger there.
Yeah,
The heroes don't even have to do anything.
Trees, my one weakness. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the trees. They're like
Yeah.
spitting stuff.
They're like spitting acid or something, yeah.
I love how
It's not even
pathetic.
acid.
They said like, "This is our trees. They spit stuff."
It's not even acid. It just weighs the ships down and causes them to crash.
Isn't that the perfect ending of your training? Here they go through all this rigorous training to defeat the enemy, and then the enemy comes and is defeated by not doing anything. Like, here's what you train for to defeat those bozos.
I thought when he said like, "Oh, we have special trees," I thought the trees would like come alive and then hit them or something.
Yeah,
Star
right?
Lord drink, sorry.
Yeah, so they do. They go through all their trainings, like, oh, Sonic can run fast, even though it already could. So I don't know. Sonic unlocked better gameplay from Secret Rings. Yeah.
But yeah, I love the fact that they're already like breaking the laws of physics and doing amazing things, and yet the guy's still like completely unimpressed. It's like he did make the drumstick fly around and making loops. That's still impressive, I guess. But yeah.
Wow, you threw a stick! Awesome!
Yeah, well, he did it in a way that breaks the laws of physics. Like, it was looping around a tree and flying back and all that. That's still impressive, but no.
This is,
I do absolutely love the character of Gandar because he looks, because of how he looks, and also has this really cool voice that's something like I would probably voice, like, "Sonic, now it's time for you to continue your training. You fail." Okay.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah, he's got quite that chiseled chin there, yeah.
That's a good chin.
Yeah, it kind of resembles Arnie a bit.
Yeah, before there was Arnie Knuckles, there was this guy.
But again, I love how impatient the show is. Like, they're going through the sewers. They think, oh, here comes a big epic sewer sequence. And then they like, oh, here's the exit already. Like, okay. Another story beat down. Like, oh, here's our training.
Like, oh, no,
we have to train. Oh, here's the episode.
we got to go back to get the map. And Sony's like, no, I got photographic memory. I remember the map. Oh,
no, we have to find our destiny. And oh, here's the destiny. And then, oh,
and they all got muddy for no reason.
Yeah, afraid of getting dirty, princess? Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's funny how often it sets up a plot and it's immediately over. It's like, oh, I have to go through the sewers, and then, oh, the sewers end. And like, oh, I have to go back. And like, oh, no, we already got the map. Oh, no, I have to find our trainer. Oh, here's a trainer. Oh, we have to train. Oh, the training is over. Now go to the next trainer. It's like, well, this episode just keeps blasting through everything.
Oh, he's like, oh, we got to go find the new trainer. He's like, no, I'll just teleport you there. He's like, you could do that?
Oh, but first we're under attack by Robotnik. Oh, he's already defeated. Never mind. Like, we have 20 plots to go through.
Yeah, they definitely like crammed like basically an entire season's worth of stuff into these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be so painful to go back to Sonic Prime after watching this. Like, Sonic Prime is really gonna feel slow motion compared to Sonic Underground.
Yeah, because when they were doing their training, you weren't sure if they're doing it for 3 weeks or 30 minutes.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fight, I kind of have to bring up a couple details that I found funny, especially how dry the enemies look. They just kind of looks like they don't care. Like, he's also even pudgy, like the fat robot. He's like, whatever. So the fact he's like immediately one of the most powerful enemies made me laugh. But then he's defeated because the control panel is on the arm that's holding his prisoner. Like, that's great design.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, because Manic somehow immediately knows how to disable it.
yeah, so...
Yeah. But yeah, I still kind of find it funny of like how the SWAT bot literally just bitch slapped Sonic, who just literally just went right up to him, and say, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you." Bitch slap.
Especially since they all like get the dramatic scene. Like, you go, run! I'll take care of this. And like immediately knocked out. And like, Sonia, you run! I'll take care of this. Also immediately kidnapped. It's like, it's almost like a parody. Like, I was just waiting for Sonia to say the same thing. And like, oh, you wait, nothing. I'll get kidnapped.
One bit that I did find amusing was during the training where Sonia was hitting the planks and he couldn't break through a single one except for the last one.
That was funny, yeah.
Yeah, then they go off and meet with the monks, who the main monk sounds more like Yoda if he smoked like 47 blunts or something.
It's probably based on it. It's very Star Warsy, all this stuff.
Yeah, continue your training, you must.
I have to compliment the series for this scene with the Charlotte pit, though, because I kind of like the fact that all of them were actually useful. I mean, Manic did open the door, and Sonic did manage to distract the monster. They legitimately died because they didn't work together very well. I have to appreciate that because it happens so often in these stories, like especially with later Sonic, where it's like, oh, friendship saves the day, even though they never really do anything friendship related, or they never really demonstrate it very well. I like this show that, even though it's a very short scene, they actually do legitimately show, like, hey, everyone does have a great skill, everyone is very strong, but explicitly because they don't work together, they died here. So that was very well done. So I have to give this show a little pat on the back for that. Good little detail.
I thought we were going to see them do the scenario again, but how they're supposed to do it. But no, that was their only chance.
Yeah, I guess in the end it didn't matter. But yeah, I mean, I guess.
And also, the monster kind of makes me think of the jailer boss from Dark Souls. So while they're all defeated, you can imagine them see the screen with "You died" on it.
Pretty much, yeah.
You fail. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
And also, we need to bring up how absolutely useless the invisible stairs were. Because what if you miss a step, you fall down?
Yeah.
That would be funny, yeah.
And also, I can imagine the scene from the second Ace Ventura movie where he plays a slinky all the way down the stairs.
That would be interesting in midair, yeah.
Yeah. Floating slinky, oh my god!
But yeah, there's also something very sad happened in the episode. I mean, but at the end where they play the song, I love the fact that one of the monks suddenly start joining in. It's jumping around and dancing. I love that. And then they do a group hug at the end, but they didn't hug the monk, and it made me very sad. So.
Yeah. No love for the monk.
And also, when I was watching that music video, it was that they were covered in feathers, and I was like, where did those feathers come off? Did they sacrifice a chicken off screen or something?
I think that's from him jumping up and down the bed because they're old-fashioned beds and pillows that have feathers.
Right.
But yeah, that was a fun little detail to see the monk jumping around. Yeah, Sala, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. So we kind of alluded to it in this episode, how Manic's training seemed less impressive than the other two. That actually becomes a plot point in the next episode. So I just wanted to point that out.
Indeed, it does.
But
so.
Also, while we're on this episode, and specifically talking about the song at the end, I gotta say, Manic is definitely the best singer of the three. And it's a shame that he only has, one song that he sings the entire way through, and even then, Sonic and Sonia are also singing it. But here's the weird part about that is, it's mixed in such a way that Manic's voice comes in through your right ear, and Sonic and Sonia's come in your left.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually edited it so that only Manic sings.
Oh, all right.
I can hold on.
Yeah, speaking of which, Euan did prepare the songs so we can play them on the stream and judge them later. I guess we do that after talking about the episodes. But yeah, so you also have a video music clip of the song of Manic then?
Yeah. I mean, it's not exactly relevant yet, but I can go ahead and share the link. Right there. Yeah, so I edited out Sonic and Sonia's voice from the song because Manic is the best singer. And he deserves a song to himself.
Alrighty. Yeah, so it's a YouTube clip. I guess you can link it in the comments below.
Oh, yeah. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah.
That one. Manic needs some kind of love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it did not appear as a link.
Oh, did not?
Oh, weird. Oh, well, maybe I'll post it later. Anyway, I guess we'll talk about the song specifically later, unless this stream is going to take too long, because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe the end.
But that's all I got to say about this episode.
Fair enough. Shall we move on to the next, or does anyone has the last comment left? About the beautiful art of the queen they randomly have, the monks.
That they have to dust away every day.
Guess Dust doesn't like her, or likes her a little too much.
Oh yeah, got random mural of her there.
Yeah. So, all right, who's here? All right, it's time to pick who's gonna dust off the mural of the queen. Not it.
I think it should be Bobby over there. I cannot expect to do that. I keep doing that every day. I'm also supposed to be training the kids. Are supposed to be coming. Why must I do it? Because you must greet them.
Ah, poor doggy. But yeah, the third episode, the finale of this trilogy,
Origin
I guess.
three-parter.
Or three-party.
The Origin three-parter, yeah.
And this episode was really confusing. But yeah, who wants to do a synopsis of this weird episode? A very Star Warsy episode. Or should I do it, I guess? Alrighty. So, after we get a little bit of a scene with Robotnik and his robots again talking about the plot of last time, we suddenly randomly, confusingly cut to Sonic Mania and Sonia in a spooky castle where they have to fight a dragon out of nowhere. So here we get an introduction of them using their instruments as weapons, except where Sonic and Sonia can shoot laser beams, Manic's drum seems to be kind of useless. All it does is create an earthquake, which is kind of pointless against a flying dragon. So Sonic immediately runs away, they fight a little bit more, until Sonia suddenly realizes, wait a minute, this dragon is actually like an air spirit or something, so it dies as soon as it touches land. So Manic creates an earthquake so heavy that one of the rocks hits it, and that immediately kills it. Poor thing. But yeah, apparently that was the test they played out. And then we get to our Star Warsy moment where even though they're still in their training, the random monk suddenly shows them, oh, by the way, let me tell you that Robotropolis is being under attack. You probably want to know that, but hey, stay here, you have to finish your training. But of course Sonic is like, no, we have to go back to Robotropolis and rescue this other guy who's part of the resistance. And then the monarch is like, no, you ruined your training. Actually, you know what, fine, whatever, go.
He's like, no, you must stay and do your training. No, we gotta save Robotropolis. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not quite as
When
dramatic
you
as
put it like that.
Okay, we did our Star Wars scene. Off you go. So they immediately get yeah, go ahead, Euan.
Sorry, I was just saying all that's missing is just a Force ghost.
Exactly. Yeah. One of their parents, I guess. Well, I guess Sonia's mother showing up is kind of like...
Oh, yeah, because he said, like, I felt a disturbance. Also, oh, God.
Did he say that? Oh, wow. Did he?
No, he said, like, as if a million voices screamed out in terror. That sort of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that type of thing.
He said, like, many souls in Robotropolis have been lost, or something like that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really playing it up, yeah. Anyway, we're back at Robotropolis. They go into Robotnik's headquarters where... Bartleby or whatever Sonia's
Bartleby.
or Antoine version is having a talk with Robotnik where he shows he's actually part of his team or at least working for him, although he's not particularly happy about it. And we get to see what happened to Sonia's mother, her adoption mother, who's now turned into a robot, making her cry. But meanwhile, we have to focus on a resistance fighter who's been captured, and they're draining knowledge out of his brain. I guess that doesn't happen when they turn into a robot, apparently. Oh, well. Well, meanwhile, the other henchmen are in the ice planet, or the ice location, it's kind of confusing. The whole rescue of the resistance fighter happens off-screen. They just randomly have him later. So that's nice. But yeah, so they want a diversion. So the resistance fighter steals an airship and they fly around. This becomes a plot point that stealing is bad, even though they're stealing for Robotnik, so I don't think anyone cares. But yeah, the resistance fighters distracts all the airplanes chasing them, so Sonic and Manic and Sonia can escape for another flying machine that's, for some reason, has this very comfortably looking furniture, even though I suppose only robots will ever sit in it. Then Robotnik shows up, and he's very friendly. He tells him, I have a booby trap that explodes in exactly 30 seconds, and probably if Sonic kept listening to him, he'd probably also explain how they can escape, so... Everyone is very friendly towards each other, just explaining what their evil plans are. If he didn't say anything, they would have been dead by now, but oh well. Anyway, yet again, we get the plot point that Manic steals things, and that's why they could escape, because he stole like a manual override of the airship. And then everyone falls to their deaths, because snow doesn't really soften your landing that much. So they're dead. The end. Show is over. No, they survive somehow. And then they fall even further, deep into a cavern, and it's even more less likely to survive. You even hear like a very sickening crunch when they fall down. You see them laying on this hard edge, but still they somehow survive, so I guess fall damage doesn't exist here. But yeah, we're in a cave.
They landed on a rope bridge, and then the rope bridge snapped, and then it snapped again, and then they landed on the little
they
rock
kept falling.
platform. Yeah.
Very important that they fell 3 times instead of only 2. My apologies. Anyways, randomly, our queen shows up. Oh, so we do have a Force Ghost, kind of, I guess. And as Sala beautifully pointed out, her hands need to be glued to her hips, so she can't change poses.
Yeah.
And basically just tells them stuff they already know. Oh, you have to work together, so stop fighting and all that, and you have to rescue me.
Yeah, go and
She's so
save
helpful.
go and save the drunken alchemist. 'Cause he had too many pubs. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to save the Oracle. He's very important to a resistance, and it just cuts to him being an idiot. Like, ooh.
It's just like the resistance will fall without him. Here's a picture of him.
He's been attacked by Brooke.
Oh God!
He's just straight vibing, man.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Sala's avatar is most appropriate for that moment. Like, look at him.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for that avatar. That's fantastic.
Just for this picture, yes. Anyway, then they start playing music again, because why not? And we get to see flashbacks of the same episode, but now done crappier with annoying editing. But yeah, we have an epic fight. They shoot lasers and our bad guys immediately flee away. Manic does his earthquake attack and all the airships immediately explode, and the end.
Yeah, hooray! I'm no longer useless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the queen's
Except
there.
for like the monk hyped up that Manic's power would be the most powerful. He's just like, oh, you have the power to shake the earth, which is very potent but dangerous. Meanwhile, Sonic and Sonya just get to shoot guns, whereas Manic has to perform these epic drum solos in order to make rocks move.
The most appropriate sort of screen that you've got there at the moment is like, yeah, we're getting to shoot guns, and Manic's like, ugh.
I got a rock. Yeah. I get a laser blaster. I get sonic waves. I got a rock.
I want to point out that I can't believe they named this title. I can't believe what they titled this episode. It's just called Harmony or something. Because it was like, okay, we're going to call this episode Harmony or something.
Friendship
okay, that'll do.
or something, whatever. Yeah.
It really feels like it lessens the impact of the lesson of the episode, which is oh, we need to work in harmony. And the episode's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, on YouTube, the one episode of Harmony or something. Apparently, the guy misspelt it wrong, so it's Harmony of something.
That sounds
Harmony
better.
of something of what?
No, I think they just got drunk and had a tight deadline. It's like, oh, quick, come up with something quick. The harmony of something.
That is on the Sonic the Hedgehog Wildbrain account. Harmony of something.
That sounds like a parody of a Castlevania game.
Exactly.
Harmony of...
Yeah, I was like, oh crap, Symphony of the Night's taken. So, yeah, harmony of something, yeah.
And then we get the plot twist at the end. Apparently, our Oracle was the bad guy all along, and he's keeping the Queen hostage. So not only did he send Robotnik after them, but he's also the one who kidnapped the Queen. So he's pretty much the main villain as far as I'm concerned.
No. Plot twist, the Oracle is their father.
That's
That's why they look so handsome.
It's such a weird detail, because, the whole point of the series is they're looking for Alina. She's right fucking there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not time yet. Yeah.
Yeah, the theme song says, oh, if I act too soon, it'll seal their fate. But whatever. It's so weird that, they spend the entire series looking for her, and so many times they get very close to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
and she knows
stalking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for him just to say, oh yeah, the whole thing was just a prank. Gotcha.
It actually kind of was, because, they reveal, oh, Alina says, oh, Robotnik could have never destroyed you. And he's like, yes, but your children didn't know that, so they risked their lives for me.
It's just a fucking prank, bro. That's what I am.
Wonderful, yes.
It's so funny also in this episode is that, Robotnik, we're on the 3rd episode, and Robotnik is already sick of Sleeton Dingo,
Yeah.
and yet he never actually gets rid of them.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like Megatron with Starscream.
Yeah,
You betrayed me so many
much.
times, but being as I like you, sort kind of, I'll keep you on anyway.
yeah.
Oof, yeah, what else is there to say?
Well, I have
I do
noticed. Well, I had noticed when they were crawling through the air duct, their faces did look really weird.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a screenshot of that, sorry.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
one
their
sideways.
profile shots are very awkward looking, where their muzzles are like very long.
Yeah. And oh yeah, I noticed there was something we kind of forgot to talk about, or at least talk more about, is the whole deal with Dingo having the hots for Sonya, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, well, this guy's like 10 times taller than Sonya, so how old are they exactly?
No. Okay. Let's not think about that. Age in the Sonic series is basically a suggestion, as
Pretty
we
much,
discussed
yeah.
multiple times.
Or Sega has proved age doesn't exist in Sonic.
Pretty much, yeah. Oof, yeah.
And then they go and save their random hippie friend. I can't remember. I know he has a name. I just can't remember
Trevor?
what name.
Trevor.
Oh yeah, Trevor. Yeah. So, oh yeah, hippie guy. It's always the style of the clothes that he's wearing. It just makes me think of
Yeah.
it.
I suppose it makes it understandable because he's obviously against, all technology and such. He's like, he's against the machines, man! Against the machines!
Makes sense. But yeah, this is the first time we see a resistance fighter outside of Uncle Chuck, so I guess they exist.
Yeah, they exist.
There's
They're
gonna
just
be a lot more of them.
yeah. There will be some of them, but the whole freedom fighter bit, yeah, it's kind of more downplayed in this show.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's more of, rather than like an organization of freedom fighters, it's just like several independent resistance members who keep in contact with each other.
I suppose so. I mean, I guess it makes sense when it's more of a civilization, so I guess it's harder for them to organize. But I probably put more thought into it than the writers did. I have to say, I kind of like some of the backgrounds here. Like, it looks very abstracty.
Yeah,
girders.
I kind of like how, because I do kind of like sort of how like literally just the moment after they leave like Robotnik's like HQ and like he's already like flying over like ruins of the city, almost like abandoned, but yet like they always keep getting like wrecked so much from all the enemy bombardments and such, which I kind of like though because it's just like a mixture of like ruins from the past, but also like all these type of factories all over the place. Like Robotnik doesn't bother getting rid of it until he actually needs more space.
It is a neat detail, especially since in the first episode we did saw Sonic doing his terrorist act and blow up a factory. So, heck, man. Guess that explains why there's so many broken buildings here. It's a war. How epic!
A tiny little detail I just remembered from the end of the episode is when Sleet and Dingo show up, and they have the hedgehogs at gunpoint, and Sonic and Sonya just freaking shoot the guns out of their hands and like instantly vaporize them, but leave Sleet and Dingo completely unharmed. And yeah, Dingo said it best. Nice shot, Sonya.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered a bit that did make me find it very amusing is when Sleet was like told the robots to like get them or something, and then they just run off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, go and defeat those hedgehogs.
I'm out here. This
Because I want to see what they were like in combat.
And, just like the moment he loses his gun, it's like, oh, you all on your own, man. Just runs off.
Well, it gives them a unique dynamic, I suppose. Like, unlike Scratch and Grounder, they don't stick around to keep fighting. But unlike Orbot and Cuba, they actually are brave enough to actually start a fight, even though they quickly run as it goes wrong.
Yeah,
Guess
Sleet
they're
and
kinda in the
Dingo.
middle.
Yeah, like Sleet and Dingo are like bumbling bounty hunters kind of deal, as opposed to nowadays where Orbot and Cuba are just boring ass office workers.
Pretty much, yeah. I do love the picture of Sonya here holding her keyboard as if it's a gun. Like, they don't even try to hide it. It's like, yeah, it's pretty much a gun.
It did make me think like how they were done with it had other musical instruments. Like, oh, what if they had a triangle?
It probably also
Try-
curse Earth Shakes or something.
Yeah, Sonic Booms, yeah.
Sonic
Quite
Boom.
Well, they had a ukulele.
Oh, ukulele. Oh, yeah.
Tornadoed winds.
Yeah. Or banjo, that'd be hilarious. It plays a
calls
banjo.
upon
And
an army of rednecks.
I want to see a flute weapon. What would a flute do? Maybe a lightsaber comes out of it or something.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Or just fires his laser, you know. Do, 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 do. Yeah. I'm a
Did I not
pirate
play
laser.
That is kind of disappointing that both the guitar and the keyboard just shoot lasers. Like, you should have given one of them at least a unique look. At least Manic has something different than theirs. Oh, well.
Well, Sonia's like keyboard does something else, but that's for the future.
Dun, dun,
Oh, yeah.
dun. All right.
Yeah, still lots of more future things that'll be incorporated into the show.
Oh yeah, we haven't even revealed that Sonia also has another superpower that
Oh,
Manic does not have.
Well, guess
Or-
I'll find out later then.
Yeah, and then of course we'll find out of like, oh, how do they travel around the world? Like, well, there is an explanation, but that's for next time.
I have one
Yeah.
question though. Does this show have a bit of a Simpsons idea that the episode is cut into 3 parts that each have their own story? I mean, especially in this episode, you can kind of see that. Like the first third of the episode is about the spooky castle, then the second is about Robotnik's base, and then the third is about the ice place. So it's like 3 adventures in one. Does every episode do that?
I'm
Or
not
is it-
sure.
I'm not
I don't
sure.
think every
The odd-
episode, no.
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
Because
like, I know
3 episodes feel like they cram 3 episodes in one. So
yeah, I don't know. I know, like in this show, there's only like 2 3-part-ish episodes, but from what I remember, they're kind of just their own standalone adventure episode thing.
all right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, instead of just sticking to one plot, it's like they just bounce all over the place. Like, especially this episode was kind of confusing that it didn't really have a running theme. It's just like, okay, now we're fighting a dragon, now we're rescuing someone from a castle, and now we're in the ice. It's like it's bouncing all over the place. Oh, well. But hey, it's a lot of set pieces from Star Wars, so there you go. But yeah, I'm enjoying this series so far. It's very funny, so that's good.
Yeah, giving you a lot of inspirations and such for the future. It's like, oh, I want to see what else these morons can like concoct. That can fuel my imagination and work experiencing.
So, do you want to listen to the songs, or should we just move on to Fleetway because the stream is taking a long time?
I don't know. I'd say we could probably just move along.
Yeah,
I'll
move
just-
the freeway.
I'll say one thing about the songs. I find the lyrics kind of funny. How they're just kind of like, "Oh, we have to be friends. Let's be friends." Like it kind of reminded me of Invader Zim with Gur with his peace song.
The lyrics of the first.
Peace is nice. Peace is nice.
The first.
It's better than chicken and rice.
Sorry,
The
Luke,
lyrics,
go ahead.
the lyrics of the first song, it's like, oh, there's something wrong and all that, and I was like, yeah, this song sucks.
I don't know, I thought the first song was kind of okay, but then the other two was like,
Yeah.
Well, I do kind of like the monk singing chorus
Yeah.
bit in the second one. Yeah.
Oh.
That was a cool element. Yeah, you hear the monks in the background. That was pretty cool.
But no, I gotta disagree with Luke. I think "Someday" is one of the best songs in the series.
Okay.
So get ready for the rest.
Yeah, which is saying more about the rest of the songs than about that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as I did mention, episode 33, that song has a banger. So that one will be a treat for us.
Yeah.
Which one's 33 again?
We're the Sonic Underground.
Let's see.
See about that in the future.
I mean, the second song does remind me of another song called "Don't Leave Me This Way," but I'm trying to look up who sung that. By the Communards or Thelma Houston.
But yeah, anyway, I'm
Well,
impressed they
well,
even
well,
managed to write so many songs. It can be easy. I mean, there's 40 episodes. That's a lot of songs. Poof.
Yeah.
And I read some behind-the-scenes information. Apparently, they only had a week to write 2 scripts, so that's why it's a little rough around the edges, I suppose.
There is something that did have confused me a little bit in that episode. Is when they're on the Sea and Dingo and the ice area, they seem to have detected something. They appear to have detected Sonya for some reason, even though she's with Sonic and Manic in Robotropolis. So I don't know what was that supposed to be.
Weren't they searching for the others? For the Oracle? I think that's what they were.
Oh yeah, they're searching for the Oracle, and it's like, we can't find anything. See, it's all white. It's like, oh, not on this monitor, and it just shows Sonya, and I'm just like, I think that's just Dingo's like wallpaper on his desktop.
That's like a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And he forgot.
I thought it was a standee of Sonya there.
Or he was just making a joke, like, oh yeah, here everything is cold, but my porn stash, that's always warm.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Sonya porn stash. Oh no.
Oh no.
Bad jokes. So, shall we move on to Fleetway before we say more bad things?
Yes.
Yeah, let's move on before we go into American Idol mode.
Euan, Euan, explain what's going on. What is a poster mag? What the heck is this junk?
Well, obviously, Sonic the Poster Mag is like a very short run of basically getting like all these like big posters that you can obviously take out and stick on your wall and that. Originally, like they came along with some little snippets, like with like issue 1 had the was talking about the Sonic cartoons, and issue 2 was then talking about how to defeat like Robotnik in Sonic Chaos. But obviously by issue 3 they decided to start adding their own exclusive stories. They're all one-off sort of stories and probably will never have any relevance to any other sort of story in the future, so thought we might as well at least talk about them and get them out of the way. So
get them out of the way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Yeah, let's finish up all of the one-shot specials since Fleetway only did a handful. Yeah.
I'm kind of amused that the first poster mag is talking about the TV shows that had Coconuts as a funny side character. And then the first original story they have is like, we tell the origin story of Coconuts. It's very dark and edgy to immediately ruin the cartoon show, I guess. It's like, they actually enslaved children. So the next time you laugh at Coconuts in the TV show, you know you're laughing at those poor kids being enslaved.
Sells children to slavery.
And this version of Coconuts looks absolutely horrifying as well.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Straight up nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, and he calls himself Kid Cruel in this story. Yeah.
I like the
Cruel and the Coconuts.
And for some reason, like, because his first words in the series are hey, I keep reading his name as Fat Albert.
Yeah.
Hey, Cruel and the Coconuts.
Yeah, even Kid Cool's design might not work in today's society.
It's a little racist.
Yeah. Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. That's European art for you.
Yeah, I think I'm more creeped out by the robot monkeys that he has, because the way they're designed, it looks like they're just generic robots, but they have like decapitated monkey heads, like real monkey heads on them.
It looks very creepy.
With the eyes forever closed.
Yeah.
It's not the fun orange coconuts from the cartoon or the video games, no. But yeah, who wants to do synopsis of Kids Racist and the Coconuts?
I suppose I better.
Yes,
so
you take on the White Guild.
Yeah, basically in the gold mining town of Forest Hill, like a bunch of chimps are basically just keeping out of sight, thinking like, okay, he's gone past, we should be safe, but nope. Instead, like Kid Cool and his coconuts basically break down the door, saying like, hey, if you don't pay up, I'm gonna take your kid. And it's like, no, you can't. It's like, no, it works, buddy. And then basically the son gets taken by the coconut robot and then just gets literally by mechanical tentacles and just popped straight into the boy. Shows how tired I am at the moment. I think he put the boy into the boy. But then put the boy into the robot.
There you go.
And of course, the parents are like telling Sonic about what happened, and Sonic says, "No problem, we'll go and find them." And later on, they're in the middle of the jungle, and Porky says like, "Oh, the coordinates are correct, so they should be around here. And Tails is like saying, "Oh, I can't see anything," but then immediately
Shut in the
gets
dick.
a coconut thrown in the groin as they all get attacked by the coconut bots. With, of course, Porker getting knocked out.
I love the artwork so much. Look at Porker standing there like, duh. Or Tails' face when he gets hit in the groin. It's just beautiful art.
I think the blacks of his eyes should have been much smaller, just so that showed real pain.
Yeah.
You reckon have some really strong nads.
Yeah, bounces off a metal bullet. That's impressive.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
my
the couple
genitals
of
retract.
seconds- It's a couple of seconds of grace period before it really settles in.
Yeah. Then Kid Cool.
Oh no!
Yeah. Then Kid Cool turns up. Then Kid Cool turns up and basically tells Sonic that he can't just simply destroy the coconuts because they've all got explosives attached to them, and the moment Sonic destroys them, it'll set the explosives off. So it leaves Sonic in sort of a predicament. Like, does he destroy the badniks to free the chimps, but then blows up, or does he just admit defeat? Well, Kid Cool basically contacts Robotnik saying like, "Hey, good news, Betty! I trapped Sonic." Sonic decides like he's going to utilize his speed and quickly bash open all the coconuts and grab the bombs as fast as he can, but just then, boom! Kid Cool, of course, celebrating happily. He's like, "Yay, the hedgehog's toast!" But then Sonic just jumps out of the flames in like a cool manner. It's like, "You were close, bud, real close, but no prize." And then he ties Kid Cool up and of course, then Sonic and the chimps make their getaway as Robotnik turns up and is like, "Oh crap." The end.
Oh, that picture of Sonic on fire. Is that his quills actually burned off? Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
graphic picture of
Terrifying.
Sonic there. Yeah, it's very
I
graphic.
could definitely remember
But don't
when
worry,
I
they
read...
grow back very fast.
Exactly. Because I definitely remembered seeing this in like the one of the summer specials, because they reissued like the poster mag stories into the summer specials, and when I first saw that I was like, "Oh dang."
It's
Literally.
very intense, yeah.
It's like a more intense version of the flame shield in Sonic 3.
Yeah, when it goes wrong.
But I love if you look at the terrifying Sonic, but then in the panel next to it with Tails and Porker looking so dorky. Like, like
Yeah.
Where did Tails get that jacket from?
Well, apparently he had it basically in the page 2, but then he decided to take it off only to put it back on again, because apparently it's not. Apparently, even with all that massive heat coming off from the fire, it's like too cold for him.
Now I gotta keep my coolness factor, you know?
Exactly. Gotta be cool like Porker.
Exactly. Oh man, I love the British art. Like it's derpy and cool and terrifying at the same time. It's amazing. Like, this
I also
perfect
find it interesting how they have simian characters here, because they rarely have simians in Sonic material, apart from I think Monkey Khan in Archie.
Oh, there was Monkey Khan and Sergeant Simeon. Yeah, they're from Archie. And then Sonic Boom had Comedy Chimp. And
Of course,
yeah.
can't forget him.
yeah, and there might be others, but yeah, not much in the. Tangle. She's technically kind of a primate with the lemur thing, but yeah, not much in the primate category with Sonic stuff.
No, and probably because it's a bit awkward as shown in this comic. But yeah, I love this one. The art is great. Yeah, go ahead, Sala.
I do want to point out that the monkeys that Kid Cruel threatens are definitely not chimps because they have tails, so they're probably spider monkeys.
Mm.
All right, there we go. Sala with his monkey knowledge.
Monkey knowledge.
And they are monkeys and not apes, right? Before I make that mistake, and I get beaten up by the librarian from Discworld.
I mean, spider monkeys are called monkeys, so I would assume they are indeed monkeys.
And even the blue meanies are agreeing, so that's good. Yeah, good stuff. Love the artwork. I also love the angry Robotnik picture on below his ship.
It looks like it's about to tell Kid Cool about diabetes.
I'm Dr. Robotnik, and I'm here to tell you about diabetes.
I always love when Robotnik puts his face everywhere.
I'm not perfect. I eat ice cream and apple pie and ice cream and my medicine and people with diabetes.
Jeez.
Those old YouTube poops, yeah.
Yeah. Also, in case you didn't notice and you want some more nightmares, Kid Cruel's has a tooth in the center of his face rather than one on each side.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wonky teeth.
Yeah.
Misaligned teeth.
I think Tom Cruise has the same issue, which is weird.
Oh
Must be
well.
that golden milk there.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's look at Tails getting hit in the balls again.
Yay!
Oh, my nerds.
Yeah, tails in the balls and less racist monkey guy, yeah.
Doink.
Do it.
Yeah, love the artwork. Awkward as it may be. Shall we move on to the next one?
Alright.
I guess that's a yes. So, Ocean of Horror! Dun dun dun! Who wants to do the synopsis of this thrilling story?
I'll do this one.
Okay.
Yeah, alright, so... Shit, gotta get grab around here. Damn it, where is it? Oh, here it is. It's, okay, number 5. Number 5.
Johnny Five.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny Five's alive! Anyway, so right, Ocean of Horror. So it starts off with Sonic and Tails at the Oil Ocean Zone. And so they're doing the things like, oh yeah, we're gonna stop, shut down this oil refinery thing. So Sonic jumps onto the, oil slide, just like the game, and jumps up to hit the machine. And then it's like, oh no, Octus Badniks. Then he manages to hit him, and then they get inside the, the machine where the oil's pumping out. But it turns out, oh no, the whole thing was a trap by Robotnik. It's like, haha, fools! In about 30 seconds, this oil refinery will be blown to pieces with you on it, ha ha ha! And of course, Tails is like, oh, that's think of the destruction and the pollution's like, yes, lovely, isn't it? So Sonic's going into overtime where he has to find the bomb and try and get it away before it blows up the oil refinery. And Tails notices that he's running so fast that he's pushing himself to the limit, to the point where he ends up falling off, and then suddenly, Super Sonic transforms into Super Sonic, and he's going 10 times fast, and he eventually finds the bomb, and it's like, oh, I got destroyed. Like, no, Sonic, don't. You got any better ideas? No. And shut up and let me do my thing. So, he spins around so fast that he creates, manages to contain the bomb inside some kind of a shield. So the bomb blows off safely, and then Sonic gets knocked out. It's like, oh man, what a headache. Like, Tails like, oh, you transformed into Super Sonic. Oh, I did, cool. And then Robotnik's and then it ends with Robotnik giving another one of his I hate that hedgehog spiels. And then it ends.
Of course. Yeah, not much to say about this. I kind of love Tails' dumb dialogue all the time where Sonic is desperately looking for the bomb and he says, Sonic, you're running. Sonic, you're pushing yourself to the limit. What a hero. It's like, shouldn't you be focused on the bomb, you idiot?
Yeah, Tails is just pointing out the obvious in this story.
Look out for the edge, Sonic!
I love the designs of some of the machinery in this strip, especially the design of the pump, which looks all disgusting, leaking out oil everywhere.
You British are very good in that. Yeah, that's an awesome artwork. Yeah. I agreed. I love the picture of Tails. Look, what is it, Euan? Sorry?
Just saying artwork by Richard as usual.
Richard, classic, yes.
Yeah.
I love this picture of Tails where he turns around, almost looks like he's breaking his neck because his head is way too far twisted around.
Help.
From The Exorcist.
Man, first he gets punched in the balls, and then someone snaps his neck. Yeah.
Poor guy, he's not having a good day. Kind of surprised Super Sonic didn't do anything evil this time. He's just purely focused.
Right?
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. Like, usually Super Sonic doesn't give a damn about anything. But this time he's like, oh no, I've got to save everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the rare moment where Super Sonic is kind of a good guy. Yeah.
I guess because he came from Sonic's focus. Sorry, Euan, go ahead.
Yeah, just like like in that one panel just after he turns Super, and it's like, in times of desperation, Sonic sometimes undergoes a strange transformation into Super Sonic, a wild and unpredictable part of his personality that we rarely see, even though despite the fact his personality wasn't that unpredictable, he just basically just found the bomb and basically managed to prevent it from exploding.
Yep.
Yeah.
But man, it's a theme this time, isn't it? Robotnik just telling everyone the plan that's going on. Hi, let me tell you about
Right?
a bomb that explodes. Shut up, idiot!
It feels like
Oh
this
my
is a
God.
story written by like American writers. Yeah.
Yeah. Both of these instances, the Sonic Underground one and this one, both of these, he would have absolutely succeeded if he didn't take the time to gloat.
Yes.
You know, he's so grateful for the Oracle for telling him that he's paying his respects twice. It's like, you know what? I'll I'll do it in return for the heroes.
Oh, the Oracle was here all along. Yeah.
I suppose what I do like about this strip is that it has a very high stakes here.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense one.
Yep.
Like, it's all about
And
something
counting
being
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and counted down in each panel.
Yeah, even Sonic has nothing clever to do. He's just complete in panic and desperation the whole comic. So that's pretty awesome. I love it when Sonic is in pain. I'm such a sadistic asshole. Makes for good storytelling anyway. But yeah, fun little story. Not much to say, I guess. Awesome machinery. Love the explosion in the form of an egg. Nice touch. Yeah, I guess we'll move on to the next one.
Explosion!
Explosions indeed.
Giant explosion!
That we don't get to see.
Explosion!
So, shall we move on to Marble Garden Menace? Amy gets her Sonic solo adventure. I feel like this should have been a main Fleetway comic because I don't think she ever had much like an actual solo adventure when she joined the team. But oh well, here it is finally. Anyone wants to do a synopsis or is it my turn?
I probably could do this one.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay, Marble Garden Menace. Sonic gets a report from Dr. Kintoba, who's apparently drank a lot of Ribena, saying there's a lot of bad activity on the Marble Garden Zone, and he's wondering where Tails isn't around. But being as he's unavailable, he'll probably meet him later. And he asks if the Hyper Spring is ready to use, but Kintoba says it's still untested, so as it's the only way he can reach the floating island. So he decides to go on his own. Amy wants to tag along, and Sonic's like, "No, piss off!" But she wants to tag along anyway. So she grabs onto his foot, and they end up all the way to the floating island. And they get into a lot of trouble, dodging badniks, and whilst Sonic is giving Amy a telling off, says, "I'm like, he's not your boyfriend." There's a badnik about to go for them, but Amy takes it out with her crossbow, and he's like, all right, you can come with me. So he talks to this poor person, and saying, "Oh, it's the new creation, the Combinic, which is a combination of 3 different badniks." And it says, "Oh, okay, I'll probably take it out anyway." So Amy and Sonic still get into an argument as they still have to look for Knuckles, and he could be anywhere. But then the ground opens up, and they end up underground, and there's spike balls everywhere. And then suddenly the Combinic turns up, and it ends up like a scene from Total Recall. But Sonic speeds up and tries to attack it, but it bounces off him. The crossbow doesn't affect it either, so they have to make a break for it. So they smash through the wall, and they run off as the Combinic is on its tail, but then it falls into some mud. So then the biplane turns up with, "Oh, look, here comes Tails." And so they fly off, and then Knuckles wakes up with a flower on his head. He's like, "What is that? Did I miss the whole thing?" Yeah.
What a miss! Yeah.
No, that's not even how they write it. They write it like it's funny. Like, "Oh, lucky for them, Knuckles. They didn't meet up with Knuckles." Like, oh, like it's like a cliffhanger, even though he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's funnier. Oh no, it's Knuckles.
Things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Couple of things. One, I don't know why, but I love the fact that the robot just falls in mud and he just immediately explodes.
No, my only weakness.
Direct weakness.
Even though he lives in a cave, so he should already be known to mud.
Yeah.
And also, Sonic's eyes are actually blue in this comic.
Ah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
The colors are really off in this one, yeah.
Yeah. Especially how Kinterball looks, as Luke pretty much says, like he drank too much Ribena.
Yeah, I guess he went on vacation to Spain for a while.
Yes.
Too much tequila. Yeah.
There you go.
Also, I think they were a bit lazy when they showed Tails in the biplane. They instead of just showing him pilot it, they just show his tails.
Yeah, that's right of it.
Yeah. Plot twist. It's not Tails after all. Dun dun dun.
In fact,
Especially with
since
the lack of white
Two
tips.
regular foxes.
it stills don't even have the white tip, so it almost looks like the airplane is just on fire because it looks like there's flames coming out of that.
Oh,
It's on fire.
oh, there goes the plane.
Just some sentient tumbleweed flying it.
Hi, Sonic. It combusts.
Yeah, because look at it, you just see the orange flames coming out of it and clouds
You don't even
underneath.
see it in the final panel. It's just like a bunch of furry stuff in the pilot seat.
Yeah. So far as we know,
Yeah.
Tails is dead and the thing is on fire.
Maybe Tails is just shedding. Yeah, shedding his fur. Yeah.
There you go.
Now all the fire is actually taking over for Tails, and it's like, "Hey Sonic, I'm taking over for Tails." Like, how have you not blown up yet?
Fire shield gone wrong.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is why you should not fly the tornado while having the fire shield on.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
As for the combined Nick, I mean, I've been trying to think of what bad Nicks it's been combined with, but the only one I could think of is like the legs being from the quote unquote mantis grasshopper bad Nick.
I guess, and arms from Grounder, but yeah.
I mean, it's a weird looking thing, yeah.
I mean,
So,
I do like
maybe-
the top panel of where Sonic takes Amy away while the combining is on the prowl at a
Yeah.
slightly at an angle.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome one.
Yeah,
Sonic
makes it
the
look-
Arrow.
Makes it look more gigantic when they first encountered it, because it looked almost about their size, but then in like the last few panels, it's like humongous.
Yeah, bit of a scaling problem. It's like a Sonic Underground episode.
I just
And
noticed Godfroth commented, "Oh, did someone spill grape juice on these pages?"
Yeah,
maybe it's
it's
a
a bit
scan
thirsty.
problem. Maybe it's a scan
maybe.
fault.
No, I think if I recall, I do think this story, when I read it in the summer special, I think it was had the same color issue. So I'm not sure if it is like an actual sort of like how the artist actually colored it, or whether or not there was an overall problem with the printer and such.
Maybe
And it
the story
came
just
out
takes
like
place
that.
at sunset. That's why everything has a glue to it. Oh well.
Yeah. Kind of funny the sort of shirt the kid's wearing, literally just being a sad green man. Like,
Err.
It looks like an early proto Shrek.
does kind of, yeah.
Looks like Book Shrek.
Hook Shrek.
Yeah, indeed, it does. Although I kind of get more of a Dragon Ball effect on it with some of the green troll guys.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
it's me. But yeah, that's a that's a funny picture. Yeah.
Or maybe he's like some kind of weird relative of the Oracle.
Sure,
That's
why
the
not?
Oracle. In the yeah, the picture on the guy. Sure, like there. That's what the Oracle looks like in the Fleetway Sonic universe.
Sure, why not?
yeah.
Right, shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
The poster mag with Knuckles. I love this poster. Knuckles looks so psychopathic. But yeah, the Chaos Emerald Thief. Who wants to do it? Nobody wants to do it. Alrighty, guess it's my turn again. So,
I'll take the next one.
sorry?
I'll take the next one.
Oh, the next one after this. Alright. Anyway, so apparently this one takes place in Metropolis, even though it looks kind of differently. It looks more like Flintstones world with all the rocks.
Flintstones? Yeah.
Sure. We're in a dodgy bar, Metro Bar. A ninja bird is talking to one of those Jawas from Star Wars to sell a Gale's Emerald. But Sonic jumps in because he has a radar for finding Gale's Emeralds and wants to grab it. But the bird gets away. Fortunately, Sonic managed to grab the Jawa, but oh no, it's actually Knuckles in disguise with a very interesting snout. Very Mo from The Simpsons look, as Melting Man, I think, said. But yeah, so apparently... Yeah, what?
I was like, no, I don't remember saying anything about him looking like Mo from the
No,
Simpsons.
that was me.
Oh, that was you, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that was Luke.
Yeah, he looks like Mo.
With the word underbite, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so apparently the Knuckles got this Chaos Emerald stolen. He was already tracking down the thief, but now Sonic ruined it all. And Sonic shows him his radar he used to get it. Knuckles wants it, but no, now he's stuck with Sonic. So they go after the Birdman. They have a bit of a scuffle, but they keep ruining it for each other because they're too much of a rival. So they get angry and they start fighting each other, but then Knuckles punches Sonic so hard that it turns into a karate kick into the bird. And so they won. And Sonic says it's on purpose. Knuckles doesn't believe him. And then they beat each other up again, probably off screen. The end. So, Sonic and Knuckles are terrible as a team, the story.
Yeah.
I love it. We don't see their rivalry played up so much. It's kind of funny that they sabotage each other this time. That was kind of fun. I liked it. So yeah, anyone else has comments on this?
I really like the very first panel. It's like on a weird alien planet.
Yeah, it's a very alien landscape. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
think maybe it was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, just saying. I'm assuming it was supposed to be a different location, but apparently the writer decided like, oh no, we can't have that, so we'll just change it to like the poorest part, like the literal poorest part of Metrolpolis Zone that you never ever see ever again. That has planets.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we never see the exterior of Metrolpolis Zone, so we don't know what it looks like from the outside. Apparently like this, so there you go.
So I don't know what that's up with the giant planet with the hole.
No.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Looks more like a Sonic
that is very, very close to it.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, I think they were just predicting the future with Robotnik blowing up the moon.
Maybe. But yeah, kind of looks more like a Sonic CD location. Should have been a little planet location here.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with that trail of smoke that can kind of look like the chains attached to it.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
think that's smoke. I think that's building.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Looks
now
like
I'm seeing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little
Very
ball.
weird shaped buildings.
Yeah, it's a little planet too.
Sure, why not? Let's go with that.
Yeah. Complete with mushrooms with rabbit ears, apparently.
Predicting Mario Land 2. Oh wait, Mario Land 2 was already released. Yeah. Funny, simple story. Nice to see them interact with another Anthro character for once.
And also, it's interesting to actually see a Chaos Emerald. Even if it's back in the days when they thought they were shaped more like the Soul Emeralds.
Yeah. Oh well. They're chaotic. They
But,
can look whatever they want to.
Yeah.
I do find the art style a bit strange. It's like
Yes.
I can explain. It's like very early Archie, or this is what Sonic would have looked like in a comic set in the 60s or 70s or something.
Oh, that's a good point.
yeah.
It does have a 70s, 80s look, especially with the clothes the Birdman is wearing.
Yeah, very bright colors.
Pink
Headband for no
pastels.
reason.
Yeah. Apparently, the artwork for that story was done by a very hard to read because of how small it is. Bojan Yuki.
I can't
Bojang?
even say. We'll see where the credits are.
It's there on the last page. Let's see. I'll link it in the live chat.
Oh, in the actual final page of the poster. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say like Archie, I mean like in the style of like Riverdale's Archie, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, that version of Archie and Friends. Yeah.
Actually, I did have the final page because I found a picture of Sonic drowning and Tails so funny. Because I'm a weird psychopath. I don't know why. But yeah, next comic, Sonic and Tails are gonna drown. Except that's a lie. Tails is never in this situation, but whatever.
I mean, he's underwater briefly, so...
Fair enough.
So anyway, yeah. So, just gonna drop something in live chat real quick. Anyway, so this story is, Sonic and Tails are heeding the call of a rabbit who, tells them, about, Dr. Robotnik has taken over, a bunch of people and gonna turn them into robots, so they gotta rescue them. They get attacked by motobugs, and Sonic just freaking jumps into the water. He's like, oops. and he starts drowning because he can't swim, which is cool. That's nice that that's showing up this early. And there's, on top of everything, there's a robot that's just sucking all the water down, and so he can't even like run under the water. And Tails is like, "Oh God, what do I do?" And just ditches Sonic. he's like contemplating whether or not to save Sonic, and before he makes his decision, he's already left. But then he just happens to find all of the robots capturing all the civilians, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I can at least do something good." And he destroys all the robots and saves everyone.
I love how
And
pathetic
Sonic
he
just-
looks like while he's beating those robots. He's like, "Oh,
Cause
sorry."
Sonic-
Yeah, he's just like, "Oh God, am I doing the right thing?" And meanwhile, underwater, Sonic, the robot that's sucking up all the water has to stop for a second, I guess, and wait for it to cool down. And he gets attacked by choppers, and he destroys those easily. And he gets a gulp of air from one of the famous bubbles from the Sonic games. I didn't think. Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen that actually implemented outside of the game, so that's cool. And of course that is definitely a JoJo's reference. And so anyway, Sonic destroys the robot and he gets out of the water. And Tails is like very sad because like he had to choose between Sonic and the people, and Sonic's like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. I always get out of traps on my own every time. So definitely always prioritize other people over me." Which is absolutely just not true because there are so many times where Sonic would die without Tails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to assume this wasn't going to be one of them. But whatever, everything worked out in the end. Everyone's happy. Hooray, Sonic and Tails are buddies, I guess. And Happy New Year.
But man, Tails has some epic face expressions in this one. He looks like he really needs a good sleep or a good hug. 'Cause he looks
Sonic looks really weird here because he kind of looks a bit chubbier, and also he has a permanent huge spike in the middle of his forehead.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
Yeah.
art style, yeah.
Yeah, I think
And-
this must be one of Nigel Dobbin's earlier drawings.
And also, Tails' mouth is very small and very low.
Yeah, because he's constantly in a state of misery.
Yes.
That last panel in particular, he looks like he is just suffering.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
He's got a
Look what
smile
he
on
has
his face, but
left.
those eyes are showing pain.
Yeah.
He has not slept in 3 weeks.
That's what he looks like, yes.
The sleep deprived
Yeah.
Tails.
And also he's probably seen how horrifying the villagers look.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, kill me.
But yeah, so Happy New Year's, apparently, everyone. So hope
Yeah.
you're going to have
Yeah.
a wonderful 1995. Do you have any plans this 1995, Luke?
I can't remember that far back.
I'm turning 4.
Yeah, I'm 95. That's so I'd be like what 3, 4. I was born in 93. Yeah.
I was 10, so yeah, I'm old.
Yay.
I love how miserable Sonic is that he Tails stole his Happy New Year wish. I wanted to do
Yeah.
that.
Also, like this complete different art style on this last page as well.
Yeah.
So Tails looks legitimately happy. I wish I could see this picture with the older art style, but Tails would still look miserable. Like, Happy New Year!
Yeah.
Make it stop!
Yeah, poor Tails, and not sure why Nigel had to draw him looking like that.
Yeah. Man, Tails has just been treated like shit in these poster mag stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like he could just collapse and cry any moment, yeah.
Oh, he needs a hug.
I yearn for death's sweet embrace.
Yeah, kind of cool sort of design that Nigel gave to the motor bugs, even if they only appear in the one panel before getting
Yeah.
smashed.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Interesting color choice, of yellow and purple.
Indeed.
Yeah.
They look very intimidating with those
Yep.
big giant eyes. Yeah.
Purple and gold is a very nice complementing colors.
He chose wisely, but he still chose poorly for how he drew Tails.
Yeah.
I love how Tails is just upside down when he falls down for no reason. But what's that, Sala? Go ahead.
The panel where the Motobugs show up, like Tails' tails are just freaking. First off,
Vibrating.
massive,
Yeah.
but they're also vibrating.
Yeah.
I was gonna say vibrating first, but then I noticed just how huge they were.
Like, ridiculously huge.
The base of the tail goes halfway up his spine.
Man, I haven't seen art this terrible since the last time I saw my own art.
Yay!
Nah, this art is way better. But either way, yeah, it's a very interesting take. But yeah, I just love Tails' face expressions.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah,
Tails.
when he took out the Robo Troopers, they look like screaming skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, been dying from eternal pain from the ugly tails. It's like,
Ugly depressed tails.
yeah, like sweet embrace of death, which tails shall never get.
Poor guy, too many extra lives.
Exactly.
Yeah, I still love that panel. Like Tails just being a badass, just beating up this robot like it's nothing. While the face expression just says, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah, definitely. It's like he was just like thrown on sets. Like, okay, Tails, do your thing. Like, wait, what? Okay, I'll just smash these bad dicks. Okay.
That's all I'm good for.
Especially while Sonic's drowning.
Oh no!
Who's gonna call me Pixel Brain every day now?
Yeah. Who's going to verbally abuse me every day?
Every
Still call me his
fortnight.
friend. Every fortnight.
Yeah, so I guess that concludes our stream. Happy New Year, everyone.
Hey!
I hope you all enjoyed your 1995.
Yep.
Hey!
Oh man, I can't wait for Sonic R.
Nah, Sonic 3D Flicky's Island. That's
And Knuckles Chaotix,
There
I
we go.
think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, Saturn version of Flicky's Island. Yeah.
Hooray! For every fortnight. So every single time you play Fortnite, you get Sega Superstars and Sonic. Oh, good to know.
Yay!
There you go. Well, that was a long stream yet again, and we didn't even talk about the songs, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Maybe next
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
when we're
next-
done, we'll just review all of the songs.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because the next time we do a stream, that'll most likely be our Halloween themed stream.
Well, perfect to talk about songs then. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, or just something Halloweeny.
I guess. Well, I guess that's the advantage of Sonic Underground, since there's not much continuity besides this three-parter. I guess you can pick any episodes we want, so we can just pick Halloween relative episodes, I suppose.
If there
I
is
don't
one.
think there is a. Maybe I don't know. I was kind of more thinking
There is actually. There's an episode where they inherit a castle.
Oh,
I
there
know
you
that
go.
yeah.
Castle.
Oh yeah, I
And
think
a
now I
mummy.
remember.
And I swear, my friend who's like not even that big into Sonic, quotes that episode all of the time just because of the like caretaker of the castle has such a funny voice, and he's got like the stuffed owl on his shoulder. So every now and then, my friend will just say, "This is Hooter."
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess that's one episode we'll talk about next time then.
Yay!
Hooray!
Yay! And then maybe revisit Sonic and the Tales of Terror, because we only got one more story in that book.
Yeah, sure. Might as well finish that. So that's for Halloween next time. And then Sonic Superstars is out, so I guess we could talk about that if it's worth talking about. We'll
If
see.
anyone plays it. If anyone ever plays it, or just waiting for it to drop in price.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the digital version. That's like more expensive than the standard one.
Oh, that's weird.
You sure it's not just
Yeah.
the digital deluxe edition?
Yeah, the digital deluxe edition with the Mecha Sonic parts and the bunny prototype and all that.
Buddy Rabbit?
No.
Boo. Lost
Yes.
the flow there, Sega. Oh well. So we'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Cheerio!
Yeah.
Toodle pip.
Dissected